close.
Similar.
I need to get one of those cool shirts.
Ready? Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Powerful Fitness Podcast, episode number 3. You already know who I am, Willie Henderson III, a.k.a. The Rainmaker. And today we got on a great guest, Kyle Kurtz. Kyle the Hurtz Kurtz, professional MMA fighter, bounty hunter. So don't get in any trouble. He's going to come looking for you. So, Kyle, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. I can't complain. Get to sit here and talk to you about martial arts, one of my favorite things to do. So I'd like to introduce you to, let's talk as if whoever's watching doesn't even know you.
Okay.
Let's talk about your martial arts journey from, start to where you are now. So what got you into martial arts and things like that?
Man, what really got me into martial arts? Well, when I was a kid and growing up, I'm pretty similar to a bunch of other kids, I'm sure. Mortal Kombat and Power Rangers and all that stuff. And all these kids want to, jump, kick, and stuff off the couches, just like me, man. Really, what got me going was when I was a little kid. I started watching UFC when I was 3 years old. So that's what really got me going.
3? I didn't even know it was out then.
Yeah,
because it started in like 94, right?
Nah, it started in 93.
93?
Yeah. I got the very first UFC on VHS. So, yeah, I got.
I wasn't even born then. So.
Yeah, I was. I'm old. Yeah.
So you just, seen it, liked it, loved it, and then wanted to start. So what was your first art you started in?
Taekwondo.
Okay.
So I was doing a little bit with Barbara Corey. She's passed away now. I was doing some with her as a kid and off and on. And then Nathan Henderson, who runs the Kempo Black Dragon in Cape Girardeau.
Shout out to Nathan.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Brother? And then just, different schools I'd go to because I couldn't stay one, bouncing around with jobs and everything else. And as I got older, it made it a little bit harder,
Right. So how long did you do Taekwondo?
Man, off and on for, I would say only like 5 years. And then when I got older, like into my teen years, I got back into it and I started competing. I was doing competitions at black belt level, but I wasn't a black belt. So,
right.
I just knew as I was a bigger build and it became harder for them to find me people, at my age and my weight. So
right.
I had to compete at black belt.
I mean, that's good. You get to face, tougher opponents.
Yeah.
So,
but it was some things that I couldn't do.
Right.
They wouldn't allow me to do.
Did you ever do like wrestling in school or anything like that?
No, man. I wish I did. When I got out of school, I really kicked myself because I was like, man, I really want to get better at wrestling. And if I would have had that mindset in school, which when I was in school, I did a lot of sports, but I never had my mind set on being the best. I got distracted very easily, in school. So I never put that focus on one thing. No, not until I got a lot older and I started realizing more that you can get better if you put your focus on that certain thing.
Man, I remember when I first started training, when I first started doing MMA, everyone talked about you here in Cave. Even before that, everyone always talked about how, like, you remember Andrew Byler?
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Byler was a good friend of ours. He passed away years and years ago. Rest in peace. He used to talk about, like, you just showing up to places and you'd be like, "Mom, Kyle Kurtz, not bring the Hurtz," and talk about you just like, just showing up and kicking people's asses. Like, that's that Taekwondo background, make it so easy to just kick someone in the face in the streets, But yeah, everyone always talked about you. And so when I first started training with you, it was, it was really cool. I'm like, okay, so this is the guy everyone was talking about. And dude, you used to tear me up when we would spar. Like, I didn't even want to spar with you bigger guys as it was, and then you had experience too. Hey, pull up that picture that I showed you. This just came up on my memories on Facebook from like 5 years ago. And can you pull it up on the right screen so we can see it? Yeah, but this picture was taken from at Peak Performance 5 years ago. That picture right there.
Look at you looking so solid, man.
I've always been solid.
Yeah,
Look at that beard, man. I need to grow my beard back out. No, I can't do it. It gets too itchy on my face.
Yeah, all that stuff in the past, man. When I was in high school and fresh out of high school, like I said, I was just like you were talking about, man. I was just that Street Fighter kid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I never wanted to start anything, but when people wanted to,
you wanted to finish it. Yeah,
that's how I was.
Don't like the bullies, trying to shut stuff down.
Yep, I was a bully. So yeah, it was back in the day, man.
So let's talk about your amateur career. Maybe some like what you learned as an amateur. And
man, I learned a lot as an amateur. It really goes into the pro level as well. I had a lot of fights as an amateur. I held a lot of belts, but I do a lot of when I would fight, like, hey, you want to fight this weekend? Yeah, I'll fight this weekend. Next weekend we got another fight. We get you booked a couple fights in a row, and it's like even before one was done, I already had another fight booked. I was just on to the next one, and I'd have 8-10 fights in a year easy. Just strictly MMA. And then I just, what I would do is not, if you're an amateur now, focus on one fight at a time, prepare for that fight, and don't go focusing on somebody else before you get somebody else taken care of. So
yeah, I think that a lot of amateurs actually fight too much, even pros as well. I feel like it's like school. Imagine you go to school and take tests every day. That's not how it's done. You study, you learn, and you study, and then you take the test. So I feel like fighting once a month is plenty enough.
You're absolutely right, man. That's how I always thought about the amateur career too. Your amateur career is your college, okay? Preparing yourself for the professional career that you're going to take, whether you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is. You got those courses. I mean, you may fail in those courses, but you get to keep taking them. I don't know how many times you're going to get to take them, but your goal is to ace those tests. And being an amateur, you want to ace as many tests as you can prior to your career choice. Going out there and getting your job, you got to ace those tests, right? So there was many tests I aced, but there is many tests I failed as well, and those ones that I failed at really taught me a lot, So and that's what I would focus on.
Yeah, it sounds like not knowing. When people say you learn more from your losses, if you haven't had those type of losses, if you're not a fighter, it just sounds like some shit that someone would say to make themselves feel better. But it is the truth. Like, you learn so much more from your losses, and typically that's because you lose due to a weakness, and that's just an area you need to strengthen. Like, I've had 7 amateur MMA fights, and so my record's 3-4 as an amateur. And after I lost, so those first 2 losses I had, I wasn't really training then. Yeah. I was just getting in there and fighting, so that's like whatever. But the last 2 ones I had, I was training so hard, and looking at my opponents, I'm like, I shouldn't be losing to these guys, because I knew, how you can look at a person and, listen to the way they talk, and you know how intelligent they are and how their brain kind of processes things. Well, I knew I was smarter than these guys. I'm like, okay, I look better. I know that doesn't, to some people that doesn't mean anything, but to me that means something. I feel like I don't know, I just think that
look well, you do well.
Look exactly. I'm like, okay, I look better. I know I'm smarter, and I know, and I was physically maybe not stronger, but I had the reach. I had the, and I feel like reach is much more of a factor than strength in a fight, because of leverage.
Yeah, it most definitely can be.
So I'm like, okay, I'm losing to these guys. I shouldn't be losing. I shouldn't be losing at all. But it don't even matter who I was fighting. I'm like, I'm losing. I should not be losing. I know I shouldn't be losing. just because of my dedication and how critical I think, so I knew something was wrong. And that's when I stopped training at a couple of the places I was training and started training specifically under Jen. And I stopped doing MMA and switched to kickboxing because my striking was decent, but I had like no ground, no wrestling, no judo. So I'm like, okay, let me stay active with striking by doing kickboxing and then work on, my grappling. And this has been 5 years now. And 4 to 5 years now, I've been only kickboxing. And now I'm about to switch back to MMA. And then after I have a few MMA fights, go pro. So, I always encourage the rookie amateurs, like, dude, go do some jiu-jitsu tournaments, go do some kickboxing matches, like break them apart, because when you have to go from punching to tying up in the clinch and then shooting for a takedown, like when you add everything, like striking, takedowns, ground and pound, and submissions, it's a lot to process. Like
that's
a lot.
The mixed martial arts part, right
dude.
there.
It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
Like people don't even understand. They think like, oh, like they see two guys clinch up, like they're like knee. It's like, okay, we get that you can see his knees there, but what you don't understand is if I throw this knee, I might get swept.
Yep.
If I throw this knee, he might eat it, catch it, take me down. Like there's so much more that can happen. And
your thought process when you're in there and you're in the clinch, you're just like, that's exactly what you're thinking. He could catch this knee right here. Should I throw it? I got my coach yelling in my ear, throw that knee. It's
but
there.
you can feel the tension, and as soon as you lift, he's gonna turn. He's, as soon as it's just so much that can happen with every little inch that y'all move. And that's why I always encourage all the newbies. I'm like, dude, you shouldn't even be doing MMA yet. Like, if you're a striker and you have no ground game, dude, you need to focus on everything when you're in the gym, obviously, but you start doing jiu-jitsu tournaments and focus on grappling. Because if you don't take care of your weaknesses, if you're not the least bit well-rounded, you're gonna have
you gotta be
trouble.
well-rounded.
Yeah.
Well-rounded at everything. It doesn't mean you gotta be the best at everything.
Right.
But yeah, if you're well-rounded, and some people know when they step in the cage with you that, hey, he's good at this, and this. I gotta watch, but they don't know exactly what they gotta watch out for. They just know you're good at that thing.
Right.
And if you got somebody who's just good at one thing, then you know what to avoid.
Exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, if you look at the UFC, there's been a lot of specialists. Even to this day, there's a lot of specialists. They're not that, like, they're really good at striking, but their grappling really is not up to par.
Yeah.
So a smart competitor is just gonna take them straight to the ground.
Yeah.
Like me, dude. If I fight a wrestler, like, not right now, obviously, but if you go back 3 to 5 years ago and you put me up against a wrestler in an MMA fight, they're taking me down like that. It's simple as that. As much as I'd love to believe that I would defend.
I have to say, it has to be my game plan.
Right, but now I'm well-rounded. I have good judo, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu, so I'm ready for MMA now. But before the 7 MMA fights I had, I was not ready for those. Even though I won a few and lost a few, like, I wasn't ready for that. And I could have avoided all those. See, this is the thing. People think that that experience is experience, but I see experience. You have good experience and you have bad experience.
Hey,
don't think because you have 20 fights, like I have a lot of experience, like those might have been all bad experiences. Like my 7 MMA fights, as far as I'm concerned, those were all bad experiences. Even the ones that I won. Like the only thing they truly taught me, I mean, of course they taught me a lot, but what they mostly taught me was you need to be prepared for all the areas of MMA. Forget about all the little details like knowing how to shrimp, knowing how to this and that. Like first you need to know you have to be well-rounded. Otherwise it's just not even that fun.
Yeah, you're right.
Not for you or for the fans.
Nope. No, they want to see a good fight. The fans do want to see a good fight. But yeah, there's good experiences and bad experiences. I've had bad experiences. I've had great experiences. But like those losses, even in a win, if you didn't have a good experience in a win, and you could have done so many different things in that fight to change it up, I've had that happen
Yeah.
before. I'm like, oh, I won that fight, but I'm not going to be all excited about it. People are just like, oh, but you won, At the end of the day, yeah, I got the W, but there's things I could have changed up there. That was kind of ugly. I want to look better in the next go around. So you got to even look at your wins and try to get better off of those. So and look back at those experiences, those not so great experiences.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, most true martial artists, they want to have the flawless wins. They want it to look
victory.
For real. They want it to look nice. Like me, when I fight, I want it to look nice. I don't want it to look forced. Like my last fight in Cape, nothing I did in there was forced. Everything was nice and in the flow. The 2 times I dropped him, like there was nothing forced about it. And that's the type of finishes I want. I don't want the finishes where I'm just going berserker style. I've never liked that style.
No. And yeah, I know exactly what you mean, man. Because I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I've had those too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we all do. And a lot of it is just staying calm and composed and truly picking your shots instead of just going crazy like you want to. Because you're in there like you just want to go ham, but you have to You have to slice it correctly. You can't just chop at it like, what I'm saying?
Making that sushi.
Like machete style. For real. So yeah, you're fighting in Cape soon. That's what day is that?
June 18th. It's going to be on a Saturday here in Cape Girardeau at the AC Braze Arena. And, man, I'm ready for it.
All right, well, before we get to your opponent, let's talk about, your preparation and.
Let's just say I'm going back up to my true weight class. 170 used to be, my weight class when I was a lot younger, and I was just, I was making a tear there. But 185, I kind of got bigger, and then I started fighting at 185, and I was doing really well at 185, and then I got asked to fight at 170. I'm like, yeah, I'll go down to 170, which wasn't a smart choice for me because I didn't have a long span of time to cut all my weight, and to me, I didn't make a good choice, and that's a bad experience. I had 45 pounds to cut, in a couple months, but I started in
it don't matter if it's a year. That's a lot of weight,
right? So I started my cut, and gradually. And then at the very end, it was around 2 weeks, about a week and a half, and I was like, I'm going to cut the remainder of it.
How much did you have in that 2 weeks?
36 pounds.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it was the hardest. It was the hardest because I wasn't walking around, like a chunky weight or nothing. A lot.
It's pretty lean.
Yeah, I was pretty lean, and it got really hard for me. But I'm like, I'm not backing out of this fight. And I'm going to make this weight. I'm going to put this weight back on me. I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to be bigger. And that's not at all what happened.
What happened?
Man. Even Joe Rogan's talked about this. A lot of high-level fighters, you become lethargic. Your brain's not all there.
No.
And that's exactly what happened to me. I was pretty much lethargic. I wasn't even mentally there all the way yet. I don't want to tell people like, Kyle, you don't look well, man. You look like you cut too much weight. Yeah, I'm fine. I would say that to them. Everyone who cared about me, they would tell me that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm looking like I'm, a starting role of a zombie movie or something.
Right.
But I sucked it up, and game plan went out the window because I got hyped up, fighting at 170, went all the way down, cut 36 pounds within that weekend. My buddy Ron Coleman, man, he helped me cut the weight, and fortunately he was there. Caleb Woodside and Curtis Ackman, they were there, and Ron Coleman, man, he just kept on telling me, remember your why. And I was
shout out to Ron.
Yeah, what's up, Ron? He kept on telling me that, and I was trying my best, remember my why, but I just remember in my head.
I can't even remember my name.
Exactly.
Dude, sitting in that sauna like, I can't remember nothing right now. What am I even doing?
Every time he would say 30 more seconds, it was 5 minutes,
Yeah.
30 more seconds, Kyle, you got this. All right. And I'm like, he's like, 100 crunches, and I'm like, but fortunately, we made it through that. That's the hardest battle if you have a weight cut. Some people will walk around. I think it's smarter to walk around closer to your weight class. But that was a very bad experience for me to do that. And I think that was the first time I ever felt like that I was going to need a EMT or somebody to come in there and help me. But fortunately, I had Ron come in there, and he's just like, he never left me. But I was laying on the floor. He put towels all over me and everything, just kind of let me cool down. We were doing in between rounds of going into the sauna. We were actually going into the steam room. I wasn't used to the steam room. I was a sauna guy.
The steam room is more intense.
Yeah,
it's harder to breathe in there as it is.
It is. And he's like, "Oh, you got this, you know," and helping me up. And I just kept on. Remember saying, I was trying to talk to him. My whole body was like seizing up, and it was just like, like a prune or a raisin. I just had nothing in me. And I said, I crank. And he's like, "What?" I said, I crank. And I was trying to tell him I'm cramping everywhere. But I remember hearing myself saying I'm cranking. And he's like, "Oh, let's get you over there." He just had to help me up and then walk me to the shower. Then he put a towel over my head and ran the cold water over my head and just, but he let it go slowly and, brought me back to life basically. But I was done, man. But we made the weight cut. I think, I don't know how in the world the weight popped back on, but I had he said 15 pounds, but this was the day of weigh-ins. I know I had it probably popped back up to 11, 13, somewhere around there, but it's crept up. I don't know how. It's like you turn into trying to chew on ice, and it just get hungrier and hungrier. You don't realize how much actually goes back in.
Right.
But, yeah, it was a murderous weight cut.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I don't think I can do it. Because I walk around at 155. And, so getting down to 145 is literally nothing. I'll eat light for the week of.
Yeah.
And then, so on weigh-in day, I'll try to wake up at 150. And then if I don't eat or drink nothing all day, then by the time it's time to weigh in, I'm down to 145 to 146. So I'm literally not cutting weight, And so a lot of people that are, most people my size as a pro, you're not fighting at 145. You're fighting at 135. You're cutting down to 135. But I just don't know if it's worth it. I just don't know if. And even my instructor keeps saying, "Well, what if there's 10 to 20 grand on the line?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let me see the money first, and then I'll answer." But I just don't. What does it actually feel like, the difference in cutting weight, not cutting weight when you're in the fight? Can you feel a difference in your energy?
Yeah. Majorly.
Yeah. I don't think I would want to sacrifice that.
No. When I first started fighting in my amateur career, I was fighting at 70, and I did fight at 85. But I would try to gain weight to fight at 85. I wasn't very big, and I worked out all the time. So it just was so easy for me. My metabolism is super fast. It was super, super fast back then. And keeping that weight on, I was like, gosh, why can't I get any bigger? Back then, I didn't have that concept in my head that just because you're bigger doesn't mean you're stronger.
Right.
And I would just try to put on size, but I could never put on size for nothing. And I would stay closer to my weight class at 170. But and then I'd fight 185 fights because they're like, "Hey, Kyle, we got a 185 fight coming up," and I would, I'd do well, but I'd still have those 85ers, those 185 guys, be a lot bigger than me, and but even though I was still fight closer to that weight, I had a lot more energy, and the 170 especially, because I didn't have to gain weight. I was just right there, not cutting very much weight. So
it's crazy. It's so crazy. People don't cut weight for an advantage. They cut weight to not be at a disadvantage because everyone else is cutting weight. It's just getting to a point to where it's retarded. I'm tired of seeing it. Why can't we just literally fight at our weight?
George St. Pierre
within between 5 pounds. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's got 5 pounds on you, that's fine. If they're not cutting weight,
Mm-hmm.
even if you got 10 pounds on me, that's fine. If I know you're not cutting weight, but for you to have 10 pounds on me when we weigh in, and then the next day you have 20 pounds on me, not cool.
Yeah.
You know, like when I fought Derek Albright, I weighed in at 155, and the next day when we got in that cage, I was 155. Like I cut 0 weight. I didn't skip a meal. Nothing. Like everything was the same. Like I didn't skip no meals or nothing. But I know he cut weight. You know, I know he had like 15 to 20 pounds on me. At weigh-ins, I look bigger than him. Mm-hmm. Like if you look at our face-off, I look bigger. You know, like my arms, everything, I look bigger. And then when we got in that cage, dude, he looked way bigger than me, like a lot bigger. And
see, that is, it could be, I don't want to say a blessing and a curse, but it really is like when you go from cutting weight to not cutting weight. And I noticed a big difference. You are so much more healthy. You can think much better.
Right.
When I'm closer to, when I was fighting at 170 and I was closer to my weight, oh my gosh. I mean, I was explosive and my mind was all there. If my coaches said, do this, do that way, I was able to do it. I had no problems whatsoever. But if I had the crazy weight cut to get to that portion.
You got like brain fog.
Yeah. And I'm not all there yet from the next day or from the day before that weight cut. And then, you know, you're trying to energize, trying to get your electrolytes in and everything else. And you know when you have that drink, if you had cut weight and within a few minutes you see your face getting fuller and you see your color coming back and everything. I've had that many times. But the times that I haven't had to do that as much, man.
It also can give you like it can mess with your stomach too, right?
Yeah, I want to say it messes with your liver too.
Yeah.
I want to say people have liver problems or kidney problems.
Especially these guys that don't even eat properly. You see these guys cutting weight and then eating pizza after their weigh-ins. It's just like, dude, you're already depleting yourself, and now you're giving yourself the wrong fuel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do have to say, with some things, because when I was an amateur, I did a lot of that. I would do a lot of carbs. You know, I would carb up. There's certain, you know, there's a science to
you got healthy carbs, you know, refined carbs and then unrefined carbs.
Exactly.
You know?
And I feel like when I was younger, it was easier to devour that kind of stuff and have it more as fuel, especially when I was closer to a weight anyway. But now you don't want to do that. I would go hit a buffet right if I was doing.
Do that now, your stomach's gonna be wrecked.
Yeah,
I have diarrhea the day of the fight. Like not cool.
Now, if you hit a buffet, I mean, get all the good stuff from there.
Right.
You know,
asparagus.
Yep. My wife says asparagus. I make fun of her
asparagus.
Yeah, she'll add an H on there. I'm like,
that's funny.
Asparagus. I'll leave it at that.
So, all right, so let's talk about your next opponent. What do you know about him?
Man, he was a former teammate. I didn't get to really do like a whole
Where
bunch
at?
with him up at Han MMA.
Okay.
When I trained up there, I was going up to St. Louis a lot.
Does he got any fights on YouTube?
He should.
Let's see if we can find his last fight on YouTube.
He's a really tough, gritty guy.
Is he a wrestler? I seen he's got a big cauliflower ear.
I really don't know all too much of, you know,
what, like a year ago. Let's pull it up. Let's check it out. See what he's got. This was Nemesis Fighting Alliance.
I was there.
Okay.
That was a beast fight.
Can you go full screen with it? Oh, that's I know that guy, Kevin Kangaroo. Kavarowski. Oh yeah, watch out. That's my medals back there, you know.
Yeah.
But if you bump into those, you're gonna get the energy of the champion.
I feel it already. So. My elbow and my arms are
just swole. It just swelled.
Yeah.
A big yin yang on his back. Yeah, go ahead and fast forward to this.
To watch.
That guy's got some decent striking.
Yeah. Well, I would say when I watched that fight, man, it was definitely a good fight.
Okay.
He's definitely a tough, gritty guy.
He doesn't really keep his hands up in this one.
I think one time they were going to put me up against the kangaroo.
He's definitely patient, trying to see things instead of just throwing stuff.
Yeah, I think he's got hammers. He might. I mean, I don't know how well.
That was kind of a crappy takedown.
Ever.
The timing was kind of decent, but that wasn't a very good takedown. A good shot. This guy that he's fighting too, he ain't got no ground game. From what I've seen, I'm not gonna say that about him now. This was a year ago, of course.
Yeah, I was there. Didn't look like very good takedown defense. What she was.
I know if he does this with you, that's not gonna be smart because it's gonna be Triangle City.
Yeah, I haven't.
Like right there, you see he was about to go for it.
He's keeping an open guard right there. I don't understand why. He's not even trying to shoot off his hips. Create space right here.
Well, now he's swiveling a little bit. You know, these guys sometimes they just don't really know what they want to do. What they should do.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, see, they both started out striking pretty good, but I don't care how good your striking is if you're not working on the ground and you're doing MMA.
He looks quite a bit smaller than you.
Yeah. Well, when he works, if you're not working the ground, I don't care who you are. And you're doing MMA, it's not going to work out well for you because someone's going to figure it out. They're going to take you down.
just swinging punches.
What round is this?
This is the first round.
First round, they're already getting tired.
Yeah, because Kevin, he's a striker, so of course naturally he's gonna get tired on that ground.
Yeah.
How's your cardio been?
Man,
I know you've been training at Danny's in the morning. I know they be training like crazy, killers, dude. Danny's gonna make sure you're in shape.
Oh yeah. Any mistakes you're making in there too, he'll capitalize on it. A good coach.
Oh, he's busted open.
Yeah, I think this makes for an awesome picture right here. I love blood. If it's my face, I'm coming for you. I like having.
Oh, if they make me bleed, I'm gonna have to hit him with the Thanos punch.
Yeah, that's what comes after it generally.
Yeah. Oh, you see how he's looking? His legs look weak already.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does not look like he was in good shape for this fight.
Neither one of them do.
Well, the thing is this. He probably wasn't. They're probably both in really good shape, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter how good of shape you're in. If you don't breathe properly and you don't stay loose when you need to be loose and tight when you need to be tight, you're going to end up very tired very fast. Yeah. That was something I struggled with so many fights. I'm like, some fights, I would have all this energy. I'd be doing so much and wouldn't get tired. And then other fights, dude, I would gas out. In like 30 seconds to a minute, I'm like, why am I gassing out? It's because I was holding my breath or I was squeezing every muscle at the wrong, like I wasn't popping shots out there and then staying loose. Like I was tense and then they would swing at me. I would get tense also, because you want to brace for the impact. But dude, that was gassing me out quick. But now I've really learned how to stay loose and stay relaxed. And yeah, you're not going to see me getting tired in any fights now that I've really learned how to control that.
Yeah, man. Breathing is a big part of it. I feel like when I was younger, before I learned how to do this too, I was doing a lot of flexing in my fights.
Yeah.
Because, you don't know when somebody's going to throw a body shot.
Right.
Something like, and then I'm thinking in my head, like, they're not going to hurt nothing. I'm flexing.
Oh, he got.
Not in between, but.
Nah, he's on bottom.
Yeah, breathing, it's huge. If you don't know how to breathe in a fight, practice. And I tell people if they're not practicing with the mouthpiece, man, even breathing purposes, that's why I almost feel naked if I'm not using don't have a mouthpiece and sparring.
I feel naked if I don't have my cup on.
Yeah, that and both.
For real, like I can't train without a cup.
Oh man, you know what made me want to wear it from the day on after one time, Max McNeely.
Yeah.
He's got giant feet. It's not necessarily, my feet's probably about the same size.
This dude's got 3 inches of space in between his big toe and his second toe.
I call him Ninja Turtle toes.
Yeah, Ninja Turtle toes.
Yeah, because one time, man, he caught me. I wasn't wearing a cup, and he caught me, and it's just like a slingshot, man. It hurt me so bad.
Gas.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm wearing a cup from now on. Oh, it hurt so bad.
If he brings this energy, it should be an easy fight for you.
Yeah.
Look how tired both of them are. That's just ridiculous.
I'm not going no crazy weight cut. I'm going to stay healthy. I'm going to be where I am.
So you're fighting him at 185?
Yeah, 185.
Oh, nice,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. My 185 title that I'm going to be defending that. I should have been more towards that instead of fighting down at 170 my last fight. And I'm going to touch back at that because it's not sort of subject to me anymore because it was a mistake and the bad experience. I actually that weight cut wasn't good, and it's not good for anybody. I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody that who's doing any crazy hard weight cuts, and that's why they do. Sometimes they cancel fights because somebody can't finish cutting the remainder of their weight when they got a big weight cut or something, or if the doctor sees they're unhealthy and they're unfit to do that fight. I definitely was unfit to do that after that weight cut. But I go into the fight, I'm all pumped up and everything from the crowd because I ain't been in the fight in a year, and that crazy weight cut, game plan is out the door. I mean, we know what the game plan is already. It's all set and everything. And I go in there, and I'm like, I'm going to try to run in there real quick, try to knock him out. And I come over here, and I run in, trying to break his hands with my face. And, man, it just doesn't work out like that.
It's crazy how if we don't stay – compose in our mind, we can make the most rookiest of rookie mistakes.
Yep.
The first rookie mistake is not filling your opponent out. Especially as a pro, you got so much time. You got 5 minutes each round. Like, you got to really fill them out. But if you don't, people want to. Of course, we want to go out there and go balls to the wall like we're fighters. But yeah, I've passed that point. I don't make that mistake anymore. I really fill them out because I know anyone can get clipped quick.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, okay, he's going to be the first one to make a mistake, not me. I'm going to really, put my hands up, feel him, see him, like a dance. I'm feeling him. I'm not going to, step on his toes. In a dance, you have to go with them. You can't step on each other's toes. It's like that in a fight, too. Typically, when you're stepping on each other's toes, someone's getting cracked or both of y'all are getting cracked. It's like so many guys too, they'll eat shots just to give one back. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to hit them and not get hit. Yeah. And in order to do that, I can't just stay up in the pocket because, they're just going to.
Someone can get a lucky shot off there. No, I don't want to say lucky shot. I don't want to say lucky shot because obviously every punch that's thrown is intentional to hurt somebody, but knowing where they're going to land or how they're going to land, if it's going to be a shot to put them away, when people say, oh, he got a lucky shot, that person got a lucky shot on you or this and that. And I was like, you know what? He was planning to knock me out or, that was his plan. So I don't want to say a lucky shot. Did he get me knowing he's going to make that happen? Maybe not. But you know what? That's the intentions of somebody when they're going to throw a hard strike or, he's like happened to just, it lands on you.
What Israel says is they throw in hope, but he aims and fires, straight down the barrel. So, yeah, a lot of guys, they just throw in hope.
Yeah.
And that's what I call a lucky shot, And I'm going to make sure that you're not going to get a lucky shot on me. Why? Because I'm not going to be dumb enough to be there and to walk into it.
That's good, man.
It just comes with skill, experience, and then staying conscious, there in the fight. It's so easy to get lost in the sauce, especially the better you get. When you're really good, you got less to worry about. I'm about to whoop this guy's ass. Like, dude, when I fought Derek, before that fight, I was super hyped up. You know what I'm saying? I drained myself just by hyping myself up. If I would have stayed calm, now you notice after the second and in the second and third round, when I calmed my ass down because I was too tired to even be all sporadic. So when I calmed down and I was really just planting my feet, slipping shots, and then striking right in the pocket, like I was doing very well. But it's when I was hesitant and because my mind was all over the place, you got to really you got to stay focused. It's a hard thing to do when the guy's throwing punches at you, but it's so easy to get lost in a fight. Like when I first started fighting, it literally felt like I was in a dream. It didn't feel like reality. It felt like, when you're in a dream, like things aren't making sense. Yep. Like you want to move a certain way, but you're drifting the other way. You're like, what the heck?
Fog. You're in a fog. Everything is like, it's almost like you're floating and it's like.
You hit somebody in a dream, you hit them, you're like, boom. and they're just like ping, or it feels like you're trying to swing with all your might, and it feels like you're just going like,
Yep. Been there, and that's and sometimes that'll come into like a second or third or later rounds or something like that. You start to feel that. You do feel like you're in a dream. You're almost like, is this? I'm ready to go to sleep now. I'm tired. I'm tired.
See, and as weird as it may sound, I knew I was getting better as a fighter when in my dreams, I transitioned from like throwing hard punches and then not having no type of power to I would barely hit someone and they'd go flying. Like in my dreams, I would hit people and they would go flying, dude. It was crazy. Like I had dreams where I've jumped out of moving cars and like drop kick people and stuff, like just crazy stuff, because I started to understand fighting more. And also with the experience, you realize you don't have to hit someone hard. It don't take nothing to knock somebody out, especially if they're running into it. If you run into it, dude, I'll just barely peck you. Like look at when Anderson Silva knocked out Forrest Griffin.
Yep.
Like it's just a little jab, just pop. Because Forrest went right into it. Yeah, he timed him out. So, working on your timing and just peppering is very important. It is so hard to break that to break the mentality of wanting to go out there and hit him with the hardest punch known to man, because it's cool.
It is.
Because if I hit him with everything I got, he's going down.
Yep.
But usually when you do that, it's too forceful, it's slow, it's wound up, and they see it coming. So you do that, and like if you and I put on gloves and you're staring at me in my face, and I hit you with a haymaker, boom, it's not gonna knock you out. You're gonna just take it. But if I can move and get you to throw, get you to swing, and not pop out of nowhere, that's the one that can bing, rock you on because you wasn't ready for it. When a person's ready to get hit, when a fighter's ready to get hit, good luck knocking them out. You got to really catch them off guard. It's got to be clean. It's got to be good timing. Like you don't even want them to see it coming.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, that's true. You don't see the knockouts coming off of the shots that they really know they're coming. I mean, because you get tense, you get your chin down, and that the muscles in your neck start going, and they go to hit you on the chin. You're like take. But yeah, you don't really see that happening, and obviously until they're taking a whole bunch, and then they start to get weaker in that spot.
Right. That's why when Israel fought Yoel Romero, that's why Izzy's waiting for him to do something, because he knows no matter what he hits him with, he's standing there waiting for it. He's going to eat that shot, and he's going to send the hardest shot he can throw. That's why Israel's like, I'm not going to play into this guy's game. Like, he's got to come after me. First of all, I'm the champion. You got to come and get my belt. Come and get it. You're not just going to stand there and just wait for me to come in to counter, which that's what a lot of people do, But do I still feel like Israel should have done more to him? Yes. I feel like he should have been able to do more, If a person is not moving, I'm going to make you move, because I'm going to send something that you have to move, because even if you block it, it's going to hurt bad. If I send a head kick and you block it, your arm's about to be hurting, because I'm going to send it really hard. If I barely touch, that's nothing.
Right.
But if I send a hard head kick with intentions to kick through, and you try to block it, dude, that's going to hurt bad. But if I just throw like a little quick, snap kick, like a karate style, and I don't kick through, then a person can block that no problem, Even if it sounds like it's loud, it's really not a big deal. It's when you kick hard with the shin and try to kick through, that stuff hurts bad.
Send it with intent.
Yeah. But you can't really send every shot with intent, and it takes so much awareness of that, because it's just crazy trying to stay calm in a fight. It's such a hard thing to do. People expect, like, they don't understand as a spectator how hard it is to stay calm and how crucial it is to stay calm. If you don't stay calm, you're just going to lose sight of everything. You know, people, you know how people say, I can't get mad unless I can't fight unless I get mad.
Yeah, and then you black out.
And why is that? Because when you're mad, you do things that you would never do with a calm mind. Irrational things, you know. If you're not mad, you're just like processing things different. You think before you even speak. But when you're mad, you don't care about nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's why it takes people to get mad. Oh, I have to get mad to fight. When I get mad and I fight, I'm just like, well, I don't need to get mad. I'll punch you in the face right now. I don't need to get mad. Actually, I don't want to get mad because I know I'm not going to think right. I know I'm going to wind up my shots. I know I'm going to do something dumb and try to just force it. Mm-hmm. But if I stay calm and stay relaxed and don't let my emotions take part, you know, I'm going to do very well. I fight. Me personally, I fight. Like a lot of people fight with anger, but I've learned to fight with love. I love fighting. I love martial arts. So when I get in that cage, I'm like, I love this. Like, I love the fact that I'm here right now. And it's like a joyous occasion, not like prepare, this is war. This is my last breath that I will take. Some guys is like, they don't realize, like, dude, you're screwing yourself. Like, calm down. Like, stay relaxed, stay calm. But it's like a perfect balance between getting hype and staying calm.
Yeah.
Because you got to have the energy, you know. You can't just get in there just like, yes, I'm ready to take this math test. I'm going to pass at 99.67%. Like, you got to have some type of, like, a certain level of energy, mm-hmm. But
yeah, you don't want to give it too much. I mean, I've done that before.
Dude, me too. I've screwed myself big time.
Adrenaline dump is
even
huge.
When
real.
You win, even if you go out there and manage to like finish them quickly, you go back and look at that tape and you're like, it looked just blah, like you're just raw, like it didn't
why
look.
Did I do that?
Yeah, like why did I do that? I could have hit like instead of throwing that wild punch, I could have just like right down the pipe, just bing.
Yep.
And just made it look really nice. You know, of course, all the fans and stuff, they're just like, you know, they still love it, but we know
intervals. You know, like you got your calm time. That's why I tell people. And there's a lot of runners that run a lot, and people who are preparing for like, you know, not to chase
like actual running.
Yeah, people who run. Like, I'm not trying to like chase a rabbit, but I'm, you know, gonna stay on this course right here. I'm gonna say like in that fight, just like, and people ask me, Kyle, I bet you run like 20-something miles. I was like, no, I don't. I said I run 3 miles, maybe a little bit over 3 miles.
Me too.
And that's my timing, you know, because you know, just like in a fight, you know, whether you're fighting 3 5-minute rounds or 5 5-minute rounds. Within the 3 miles that you run, you can do your sprints in there. You know, you can calm, and you still got to watch, you know, if you're running on the road, you got to watch for vehicles. You got to stop for a second.
You can jump over stuff.
Yeah, and you're hitting different intervals.
Stopping. So, you can drop down, do some like 10, 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about, because in a fight, when you're in that fight, you know, you got a time you got to be calm, right? You're moving around and think. And then there's a time that they're coming at you hardcore and they're going all crazy, and then you might get crazy back, you know. But that's that time you got to use your strength and you got to be explosive. That's when you're running, hit that sprint. Yeah. I'll run. I'm going to run to this mailbox, from this mailbox to the next mailbox, and then calm jog again, because that's the time I need to stay calm again. You know, and just in the fight. And, I mean, I'm
not going to knock it, but yeah, I have the same mindset as you. Why would I run so far? Like,
yeah,
I would rather run just a little bit and then like hit my bag or shadow box. And then also a lot of guys, so I give y'all a little jewel, you know, y'all other fighters, even though I don't like to give out a lot of stuff like this, y'all need to do more running backwards. Like, backpedaling is something that people don't do enough. They do a lot of running forward, but how much running backwards do you do? Because when you're in a fight, you're going to be doing a lot of moving backwards and side to side. So moving backwards, running backwards and side to side, running backwards up hills, that's going to make it better for you to push back. Like, when you step in, throw a punch or two. When you're coming back out, you want to have your legs built for that too. So going backwards is very important too.
That sounds good, man. I ain't never thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done backpedaling and stuff like that in the gym, learning backwards and stuff and side to side. But running up the hill backwards, man, that sounds actually
like, that's
intense.
something I seen this boxer show that I was like, that's pretty. I'm like, okay, that's really smart actually. But yeah, when I'm running on the track and stuff, I try to run backwards a lot, not just forward, and doing a lot of. And then also when I run with my hands up like this, and you'll notice big difference in how hard it is to breathe, how much harder it is to breathe where your hands up than running like this.
Yep.
Because I used to do a lot of that, and then in my fights, I would do a lot of this motion. So now when I run, I'll run with my hands up. I'll jog and just, throw punches like this, elbows, but it makes a big difference, big difference. But if you get used to running like this in your fights, it's you're building your muscles to do a certain thing. So in your fights, it's going to be more easy to go here. But once you go here,
callousing the muscles in your shoulders.
Your breathing is going to be different. Oh yeah, for sure. I like doing a lot of stuff with 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound weights too. If I want to work on speed, I'll use 1 pound weights. If I want to work on just building up the muscle, the endurance, I'll use the 3 pounds, which I hate using the 3 pounds, but them 3 pounders, man.
Well, I know you got that speed, so
yeah. But dude, it's crazy how, people just don't understand how hard it is to fight. Like, dude, it's
a science, man.
Yeah,
it really is. I thought about it after all the fights I've had, all the years I've had experience in, good experience, bad experience. There is a science to everything. Whether you're fighting a grappler that's strictly wrestling, and he's got decent stand up, or you got a jiu-jitsu fighter who's a good striker. There's timing in it all, and there's looking for openings and sizing somebody up, how fast are they, how strong are they. There's a science to every fight, and you got to dissect those. Sometimes, people don't look at their fighters and they don't watch back at their film.
Their opponents?
Yes.
Or
they don't watch film on their opponents.
Right.
And I think that it's only smart that you do, because, if it's a test you're taking, you got to study for that test, right?
Right. So if someone's like, all right, would you like to see the test and study that before you actually take it? Like, yeah. So I know exactly what questions are going to be there, Like, and yeah, the test might change a little bit, but you got a pretty good idea what that test is going to look like, exactly what it's going to look like.
Yep.
So that's why, dude, you can literally watch your opponent's film and find one flaw that they have, one bad habit that they always do, and beat them with one technique.
Capitalize on
just
that.
One technique. John Jones talks about it. He says every single opponent, he watches them. He says, I know how they fight. I know what mistakes they make. When he said he was going to knock out Daniel Cormier with that head kick, Daniel Cormier said, you're not gonna knock me out with that head kick. And he literally did. That's because he knew he had a bad habit that he could capitalize on. That's why I'm constantly working on my bad habits. Like, you got to get rid of your bad habits, and you got to really, dude, it's crazy. And then it's like, it gets to a point to where when you both fight so textbook, now you got to mix it up and do something funky. Do something unorthodox. Yeah.
Yep. I feel like when I try to go textbook, that's when it doesn't work out for me. When I'm my unorthodox self, because I don't like, even when I'm striking, if I'm in my loose self, like I started out doing taekwondo and doing kempo karate, and then I moved on to even tong sudo and doing different variations of striking martial arts, and boxing and the Muay Thai. I fell in love with Muay Thai. But blending all those together and making it into my own, that unorthodox style, so that people aren't able to figure that out. I'm like, I'm just going straight Thai, or no, I'm going to go taekwondo or karate style, or I'm sideways. I like to mix that up, and I want to make it unorthodox so they never know what angle I'm going to be at if I'm my healthy intelligent, smart thinking self at that time when I'm fighting, they're not going to pick that apart. And like you were just talking about, just kind of making it your funky self.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. It's martial arts. It's not martial math. You can't just it's not adding numbers. It's an art. It's the art form. You can do something that you've never even seen a person do before. That's why I love watching Kung Fu movies, because people think like, oh, that stuff's not practical. It's not. When I do this shit, you don't think it's practical. Yeah. You're going to be like, wow, that works. Oh, you seen Joaquin Buckley. Yeah. You seen that spinning back kick he did on the dude? Like, dude caught his leg, and he spun and kicked. Like, you think he trains that all the time? No.
Well, he said he did.
Yeah,
he said
right.
He did. I don't know.
Out of all of his training, you think he trains that a lot? He's probably trained, of course, but like spinning attacks. Yeah. Excuse me. I don't train spinning attacks a lot. I did a lot when I was doing Taekwondo, but I don't do that a lot. But best believe I would do a spinning attack in my fight. But I feel like working on the basics is all I really need. A good jab, a good cross, a good roundhouse, and a good front kick. Good luck getting past all that. Like for real. I mean, but dude, the more I fight, the more I train, the more I fall in love with martial arts. It's just so awesome. Like, it's just because it's an art. Like, you never know who's gonna win a fight. You never know, dude. When what's her name just beat Amanda Nunes, biggest upset in the last decade. But guess what? I knew she was gonna win. I was so mad I didn't bet any money. Which I tried betting money, but I think I have to drive across the bridge to go to Illinois to do it, because in Missouri you can't bet on, was it DraftKings or whatever?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Certain states is illegal to bet in, so.
Okay.
But I knew she was going to, well, obviously I didn't know. I'm not, I mean, I am kind of an oracle. I am kind of psychic, but we'll keep it on the DL. I want y'all to know how I'll be figuring stuff out, but I knew that she was probably going to lose because she wasn't even training. I don't care how good you are. Like, if you're not training consistently and you getting there with a person that's had a full training camp, not gonna be pretty, because as they say, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. It's not just about being talented, having these physical attributes that make you, more likely to win a fight. You have to actually train hard. Like, dude, this sport's getting tougher and tougher by the year. You got amateurs that look like pros now. Oh, yeah. Like,
not the same. Definitely not the same. Especially
like, dude, the fact that I'm still an amateur, like, anyone that has to fight me, not pretty. It's not like, why is this guy not pro yet? Like so I was supposed to be fighting May the 7th in Iowa for a kickboxing title. The whole card got postponed. Just tragic, I was so upset, and
now
it's just whack.
In Iowa, was that for Mike Estes, or who was that
for? It's called a Ascendancy Fight. Ascendancy Fight Championship or something.
Okay, maybe not the same card.
But yeah, I was supposed to fight for a title, and then the whole card got postponed. And he just messaged me again the other day and said they're moving it to June the 4th. He's like, "Are you still down to fight the guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, 100%. Run it. Let's go." And then he messaged me back and said, "Oh, the guy, he already scheduled a fight somewhere else." I'm like, "Oh, you should have." I wish you would have messaged the other guy first, because it really, dude, my hopes got up. I'm like, yes, now I get to go get this title. Yeah. And he's like, oh, he already signed to fight somewhere else. And then I was like, okay, which of course, if I'm going there to fight, I want to fight for titles. I'm at a level to where I'm like title fights. Yeah. These other guys aren't even probably going to be good enough to fight me. But I'm like, okay, can you still give me a fight anyways? He says, very doubtful. Because I'm 10-3 in kickboxing, if it's not a very good opponent that's like ready to go pro themselves, they're probably not going to want to fight me. Unless it's for a belt, then they feel like, oh, at least I can win a belt. But, most people don't. Most guys are not going to want to fight me unless they're on the precipice of going pro as well, because it just mathematically doesn't make sense. And then, of course, when they look me up, they're like, I want to fight this guy, and they be fucking vlogging it and talking about it on his podcast. Like, no, thank you. So I'm at a point to where it's hard to find amateur kickboxing fights now. And then even I know when I go back to MMA, it's going to be hard to find MMA fights. It's going to have to. It's only going to be the top amateur fighters that are going to be willing to fight me. It's not going to be any rookies that are willing to fight me. So, I'm going to have to go pro soon. I'm going pro next year.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get as many amateur fights in by the end of this year as I can. Maybe a couple more next year, but next year I'm going pro, and yeah, I got
to span time of when you want to have a next MMA fight.
Whenever. So I have this fight July the 23rd in St. Louis for the belt on the stand-up fight series. I can't fight 45 days before that fight, so I'd have to find one literally by the first week of June. Anything after that, I can't fight until after that July 23rd fight. But within that span, and then after that July fight, yeah, whatever pops up. So hey, if y'all can get me an MMA fight, and it needs to be against a wrestler, because we already know if it's striking, I'm gonna knock. If it's a striker, they're just gonna try to strike with me. I'm gonna knock them out. It's too easy. I need someone that's gonna try to put the wrestling pressure on me, see if they can take me down, which they're not gonna be able to. But we at least want to prove that. So my next 3 MMA fights, they have to be against wrestlers. Because
man,
yeah,
that's confidence right there.
Yeah, it is.
So, if you guys want to fight, come fight Willie Henderson.
You want to fight, you know who to call.
Yeah, man. That's cool. That's cool. That's a good way to think about things too.
Yeah.
That's why I've been working on even the thing that I think I'm best at, to grow, and I'm always gonna remain a student. Gotta continue to learn. I feel like the things that I'm best at, I'm only gonna try to keep on continuing to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
Come June 18th, man, I'm gonna be able to show that, and I'm gonna be able to show how good I am.
So as for a title, is it still just 3 rounds?
No, I think we're doing the 5-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we are. I mean,
you want to take them in the deep water, or
I want to take them in the deep water. It don't matter to me.
You don't get paid by the round now.
I don't care.
I don't care.
If it goes there, I'm there to have fun. If I'm gonna train so hard for a fight, and
yeah,
it can go that far. I mean, obviously, I'm not. If a finish is there, I'm gonna go for the finish. But if we can go that long, it's not like I'm not the type that I'm gonna play with my food. Someone didn't say something bad about me or whatever. I don't care. I'm going for the finish.
Right.
I want the finish. But if it goes that far, I'm prepared to go that far.
Right.
Training hard.
Finish in the first 60 seconds. Now you have to do 1,000 push-ups to get rid of all that energy.
Right. Dang it.
Yeah. I remember when I fought for the kickboxing title in Paducah, Kentucky. The guy I was supposed to fight, his grandfather passed away that same week, so he had to back out, obviously. And then I weighed in against this other guy. He was a boxer. He was a lot older than me too. We weighed in, faced off. Next day, I'm at the fights. Looking around, I'm like, where's my opponent at? I'm like, I don't even see this guy. Don't tell me this guy didn't show up. But I didn't pay no attention to it. I just stayed focused on myself, because I didn't want to be sitting there start getting my feelings all hurt, thinking that no one's showing up to fight me. So I just stayed focused, got ready, all this and that. I'm in the cage. And mind you, I never seen the guy. Even as I'm walking out to the fight and stuff, getting my hands wrapped, walking out, I never see the guy that I weighed in with. Okay, I'm like, clearly this guy is not here. I still go get in that cage. And then, lo and behold, here comes some other guy walking up to the cage. And he did not look prepared to fight anybody.
Oh, man.
So, I'm like, oh my God, this guy is so dead. I'm like, who is this? This guy's so dead. Shout out to that guy. Like, you're a warrior just for getting there with someone like the day of. And so I'm in the cage. I'm moving around. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I see him walking out. I'm like, what the? Okay. And my coach, he's like, Willie, come here. I get down. I'm like, what's up? He says, you got a new opponent. Take it easy. I was like, take it easy. And I started laughing. And then he started laughing. And I come out. I feint the jab. He don't really move. I threw a front kick and dislocated his shoulder. He hit the ground, didn't get back up. He was like pointing at it. It's on my Facebook page, on my Rainmaker page. But yeah, he was not prepared to fight. And
just a flesh wound.
But the thing is this, I was confident. I'm confident that no matter who would have got in there with me, I was going to do that to them. It's not even about my opponent. It's about what do I do? You know, how do I look in there? The opponent's whatever, because I've came to the realization that most of the people I fight are probably not going to be on the same level as me. They're probably not going to stand a chance because of my dedication and my skill. But there is going to be a small, percentage of guys that are on my level that are a good competition, but a lot of them will not be. You know, that's why you see the champions, like sometimes they fight. It just looks like they just demolish the other guy in the first round like it's nothing. But then other fights, they don't finish to maybe second, third, fourth, or fifth round. And then sometimes they go to full distance. So I know some of the guys I fight are going to be, a good challenge, but a lot of them will not be. Even the ones that people think, like my next opponent, Joe Dirte, they think that he's going to be a good challenge because he's like 22-9. He's got like 30-something fights. He's fought across the world and stuff. They think he's going to be a good challenge for me, but I can promise anyone who's watching this, just wait till July 23rd. This guy is not going to be a challenge. Like, I'm literally going to make it look like he should not be in there with me.
That's the mentality you need to have with any fight. Like, if you're doing MMA, kickboxing, whatever the competition is, if you don't feel like you can absolutely demolish the person that you're going against, obviously,
which he doesn't.
You never want to underestimate somebody. But if you go in there thinking, I can beat that guy, I trained hard enough to fight that guy, I'm on point with, my mind is there, what's to say you can't beat that person, even if you're newer in a career and you're getting ready to go against the highest level guy, but you've been putting all the work into it. I see some of these kids, up-and-comers that are just absolute monsters.
Yeah.
You know them.
Haven't even learned much yet and just really doing
some like
you give them one or two techniques and they're just like why? Like, look at that jab, it's like the only thing they know, and it looks really crispy.
Yep.
But yeah, the guy I'm fighting, he's not confident in the least bit. Like, how you have so many fights and you're not even really confident in yourself? Probably because you suck. Probably because your last fight, you got knocked on your ass in the third round and you look super sloppy. This guy is not going to – they did like a interview over like messages between him and I and stuff, and they did a little article. He said he sees himself winning by he says, I'm not going to look for the knockout. If it comes, it comes. But if I don't knock him out, I think I'll finish him by points. So right then and right there, it just goes to show he don't believe in himself the way I believe in myself. First of all, he don't even want to fight me without shin pads. I'm like, are we sparring here? This is the IKF USA title. Like, this is supposed to. So this means like you're supposed to be like the best amateur kickboxer in the United States. Like, but you don't want to fight me without shin pads? What are we sparring?
Oh, wait. Why shins?
Why shin pads? I'll tell you why he wants to wear shin pads. He wants to wear shin pads because he knows that he's a banger. He knows he's not a technician. He knows his shins are going to get banged up because he don't know how to kick properly. If someone goes to check, he's going to hurt himself.
Yeah, I mean,
he don't know what he's doing.
I wouldn't want to go into a fight with wearing shins,
dude.
Even in real life,
talking about he's got other fights coming up and this and that. I got other fights coming up too. guess what? I'm not going to bang my shins up. Dude, I've had 13 kickboxing fights, and none of them have I banged up my shins to a point where I couldn't fight a couple weeks afterwards.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to call the guy out. I mean, I don't know.
You don't need to. I already have.
I'm just saying, like, you know, but if you're going to have this fight, man, why not do shins or without the
This
shins?
is a USA title.
Yeah.
Supposed to be proven like best 145 kickboxer in the USA. Like, and you want to wear shin pads. You think that the fans want to see us fight with shin pads on? And then someone in the comments said they think he's gonna win by TKO via leg kicks. How you gonna do that with shin pads on, for one? And for two, I've never had my legs beat up by leg kicks. I've gotten kicked a couple times hard in fights, and guess what? It never slowed me down in the fights. I know how to check, and I know how to pull my kicks back when they go to check my leg kicks. The guy's not confident. Okay, he's had 30 fights and he's lost 9 of them. That's not a good record, you know, as far as I'm concerned. And he wanted to talk about I only got 4 finishes, so what makes me think he's going to be the 5th? Well, first and foremost, I injured my knee. I tore my meniscus and my LCL a year and a half ago, so I wasn't able to fight for a full solid year. I would have had another 10 fights in that year if not for messing up my knee. And those would have all been close to finishes. I'll be a little humble and say, you know, a lot of them would have been finishes. Maybe not all of them, depending on who I was fighting. But, you know, that's why I don't have over 20 kickboxing fights right now, because of that injury. I mean, you was training with me. You remember.
Oh, yeah.
I was training even when I shouldn't have been training yet. You know, super limited.
Yeah, and you were doing really well, too.
Right. But, yeah, you know, there's a reason that he's not that confident, because he knows who he's fighting. He's looked and seen my fights. He's seen my last couple competitions, and he's seen me finishing guys. Maybe that's why he wants to wear shin pads, because he's just seen me kick a couple people and knock them on their ass. And, you know.
He could be afraid that Anderson Silva deal is going to happen.
Shin
gonna snap in half.
The shin pads ain't going to stop me from knocking him on his ass. So it's whatever, you know. Even if we had to wear helmets, I'm still going to put him down, you know. But I know he's not as confident as me. I know he's not as tactical as me. His techniques are not as good as mine. I watched the last fight. You know, his techniques are not as tight as mine. His timing is not as good as mine. He doesn't set things up the way I set things up. He's more of a just step in and start throwing stuff. The guy, I watched him fight this Ukraine fighter. It was like 6 months ago, and the Ukraine fighter pieced him up because he was picking his shots. He was filling them out. He was really picking his shots and finding the openings. Joe Dirt was just throwing stuff. Like, yeah, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy win for me. You know, it's a 5-round fight. He ain't gonna make it to the 3rd round. 1st or 2nd round, I'm gonna finish him. The only way it's gonna go further is if he truly takes his time and plays good defense. If he just tries to come forward, he's gonna get cracked early. He's gonna get cracked. Like, it's gonna be nothing. I know what level I'm at. I know I'm ready for professional fights. You know, I see myself doing the things that, you know, a lot of pros can't even do, and I just believe in myself. I know how good I am. You know, I put in too much work, and I'm too tactical. Like, out of all my fights, dude, like, he probably got hit more times in his last fight than I have in all 13 of my kickboxing matches. Like, I'm the type of fighter that doesn't even get touched, you know? Like, and if I do, it's probably because I made a mistake, not because the person's better than me. I don't feel like I've fought anybody that's actually better than me yet. Well, maybe one person, and I ain't even going to mention his name because I don't want to, you know, hype him up at all. But up until this point, most of the people I've fought, they haven't even been as good as me. So, and I don't think this guy is nearly as good as I am. I really don't. His techniques look whack, if you ask me. And plus, I don't know if he's an MMA fighter, but I feel that if you do MMA, your striking is a lot different from the standard kickboxing fighter. I'm not just a straight Thai fighter or karate. I have such a different style.
Dynamics.
Yeah, the dynamics are much different. So my angles and the way I throw my strikes are just a lot different. And I have I know I have a better sense of the distance than he does. If you look at my fight from 6 months ago and his, I mean, you can tell who's going to win that fight. But that's on paper. And even all that stuff on paper don't mean nothing to me. I know when it comes July 23rd, when I step in that cage, him or whoever gets in that cage with me, it might not even be him. He might get injured. He might get scared and drop out. Whoever gets in there, they're going to get knocked out.
I'm ready to see you work, man.
I just know it's going to happen because I'm just too good now, I'm confident because of my techniques. I'm not confident because of who I am, because of how I know I can fight. Before I got good at fighting, I wasn't confident in myself like I am now. I wanted to win. I knew that I had the potential, but now I have the technique on top of the potential. So I just believe in myself. And most of these guys don't even really believe in themselves the way they should. I believe in myself the way I believe in God. Like how people have faith in God, that's how I have faith in myself. Like I truly believe that if I woke up and had mud butt diarrhea the whole day, like I'm still going to get in there and do my thing. Like if I had the flu, I still get in there and beat them. That's what I think, Like when Michael Jordan played with the flu, I feel I can fight with the flu. I'm prepared to die. I'm prepared to put it all on the line. I'm not scared of getting knocked out. I'm not scared of losing a fight. I'm only scared of getting in there and not doing my best. So I'm going to make sure no matter what, I'm doing my best when I get in there. Like, fighting means everything to me. It's literally the reason I'm living life the way I do. If not for fighting, I probably would be in prison or dead or strung out on drugs somewhere. Like, it saved my life for real. It gives me a reason to wake up and be my best every single day. I just love it, more than you can love anything else. I truly love fighting and martial arts and the lifestyle, and I'm obsessed with it. I have to force myself to take time away mentally from fighting. I have to force myself to watch other things on TV. I have to force myself to do other things with my kids. Like all I think about, all I want to do is martial arts. It's what I love. Plus, I know that I'm only going to be young for so long, so I'm trying to get it in while I'm young, so that way by the time I'm 35, I can sit back and retire, 35 to 40, something like that. No, I'm not going to be fighting when I'm past my 40s.
Yo, Romero.
Right. Yeah. I mean.
Is he even human?
I know I want to. This, I think he's on steroids. Like a lot of
very, very possible. I mean, the guy is humongous 185er. Yeah, I got the opportunity to train down there with him down in Miami at the American Top Team. Man, that was a lot of fun. It was really just doing back takes on him, and dude is built like a Ninja Turtle.
Right, literally.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not on roids. But I know a lot of these guys are. Paul Acosta definitely looks like he's on roids.
Yeah, I mean, very well. I mean, a lot of these athletes probably are, and they got. I've been told when I went to these higher level gyms,
they find ways to get around it.
Yep, that's some people say they got enough money, they get enough connections and stuff. If they do, I mean, to each his own. That's on them. They got to live with that if they competed at the highest level without cheating. To me, I think it's cheating. Somebody do. That, but
we even know we've seen even amateurs on steroids. You know?
Yeah, and that doesn't work out for them. So
there was a guy that fought on the last card in Cape that was definitely on steroids.
Yeah.
Can you guess who?
I'm not making any. I'm not speaking on that.
Why not?
No.
He's not watching this.
No, on
you know what I'm talking about though?
Come on, man. That's hard work, right? Hard work.
When you get acne from your tippy toe to your forehead,
could be a condition.
And then people talk about how he talks about it. So a lot of guys, they take like Cialis and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's a PED. Like when John Jones said that he took those Cialis or whatever it was, performance pills for men.
Oh,
He probably was telling the truth.
that's what that is. Okay.
But he wasn't taking it for, relationships with the woman. He was taking it for training, because it opens up your blood vessels for better blood flow.
Really?
Yeah, more oxygen to the muscles. So they take these like Cialis and stuff for, yeah. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But I found out. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, dude, why don't you just drink some beet juice? Like, if you want to get more blood flow.
Oh my gosh, beet juice. Yeah, I got on that for a little bit with putting a little bit of stuff in it.
Yeah,
Really
I got Gavin on that, and now he loves it.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I just buy it from Walmart.
Yeah, the powder.
No.
The actual juice.
Juice.
Yeah. Dude, that stuff's legit, for real.
It doesn't taste too bad. Mix a little something with it.
Mix it with water.
Yeah.
Yeah, half water, half juice.
Yeah.
So what do you envision for your MMA career?
Man, I got to get back on track. That's what I'm planning on doing. I want to get back. I'm not necessarily shooting straight to get back to UFC or get to the UFC. I want to get multi-fight contract with Bellator.
Okay.
I love UFC. UFC is great and everything, but I do see a plus side with Bellator. Bellator pays out well, and they pay, I want to say, just as well as UFC does.
And you can get better sponsorship deals, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's a plus side too.
Can you still wear like sponsorship stuff on your shorts in Bellator?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, like, dude, that's
that's why my last fight, my last Bellator fight, I would have wore more of my sponsors, but I had a pair of shorts that were way too short or were way too small. Wouldn't even fit me. So I couldn't wear
You don't want to come out looking like you about to run track.
Yeah, it looked like I was about to go swimming.
Right. Speedo.
Straight up Speedo. But yeah, man. Just gonna get myself back on track. And my mental is there. Fighting at 185. Dude, even Charlie Ward, I want a rematch with Charlie Ward. Me fighting him and going all 3 rounds with him, there ain't nothing. Me looking back at that fight, and I'm like, there's some things I would have changed with that. I don't care if he was 45 pounds heavier than I was.
Jeez.
No, without a doubt. He was already back at 230 pounds. I had a slow weight cut
That's
for
nuts.
that one. And, it wasn't that bad to me, but they made it out to, like, just the best of the best and all this and that, and I fought him, and I mean the guy couldn't put me away. The second round, actually, he got an illegal elbow on me. I never said anything about that, never even posted about that, but I think where is it? I got a scar on.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, boom, cage, landed the elbow and busted me open there, but then I got scar tissue up here, and it just made for cool photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got blood flowing all in your face and your eyes and stuff. Charlie, shout out to you, buddy, but I hope you can step on U.S. soil one day, and I can fight you at 185.
Oh, is that the guy you fought overseas?
Ireland, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Conor
seen that.
McGregor's best friend. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He calls him brother.
Yeah, he's a pretty tubby boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big dude. He had good wrestling. I would say he wasn't just a heavy guy.
Did y'all go the distance?
It was like 30 seconds left in the fight.
Dang.
Yeah, ref called it, man. The blood just kept.
Oh,
on
ref
flowing.
stoppage?
Yeah, actually, I couldn't even see the first time he come in there, and the blood was flowing in my eyes. Like, you able to continue? And I was like, and I said to him, I was like, hell yeah.
Knowing you couldn't see nothing?
Yeah, I couldn't see. I literally couldn't because it was all blood.
I'm good to go. What are you talking about?
In my eyes. Yeah.
Trying to listen, like you're trying to fight like Daredevil over here.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like, I want to finish this. But yeah, it was cool. And the coolest part about it all, and I was going to say the highlight of the night completely, there's 2 things. One, walking out into the crowd that should be completely against me, in front of tens of thousands of people, and you're hearing ole, ole.
Man,
ole.
what's that like, man? I've never fought in front of that many people.
It was just so fun. It was so cool. It gave me a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And then the second part of that night, which was really cool, after I got thumped, John Kavanaugh, which is the jiu-jitsu instructor of an MMA instructor of Conor McGregor and Charlie Ward, and he came up to me and he said, we knew you had good jiu-jitsu, and the plan was to control your jiu-jitsu, smash your jiu-jitsu. And I was like, no matter what, I thought that was kind of cool for him to acknowledge me when it come to that and tell me that. And I was like, that's a highlight of my life. I'm over here shaking his hand, cheesing with a beat up face. And, I thought that was pretty neat, to get that kind of recognition at a high level like that. But yeah, the plan is to get back there, but also put on a better performance than I did against him. I feel like I got to tee him off a couple times, and he didn't want to strike with me.
Right.
So
you got your own business now as a bounty hunter?
Yep. I'm a bail bondsman and a bounty hunter.
Okay, so if y'all get into a little trouble, time hurts. Call Kurtz.
That's right. And also the co-owner of a barbershop. So.
Nice.
Straight Edge Barbershop in Jackson, Missouri. If you guys need a trim, go to him.
Sweet.
Guaranteed. It's guaranteed.
Nice. So what's that like trying to, balance, your professional fighting career with working as well? Maybe you can give a little insight on that, or maybe some tips to people that are also going through that, because a lot of fans still don't know that. Just because they think because you're a pro fighter, like you're getting paid all this money, that's all you have to do. Like, no, when you're a beginner pro, it takes time to before you start getting paid to where all you have to do is train and fight.
Ooh, man, I wish that I could. That's my whole life right there. People don't realize. In the beginning, even in my amateur career, I was training so much. It was training, or it was work. Work comes first because, having a family, I got to provide. I got to make sure they eat.
Right.
And I would go from work. I welded. I was a welder before I became a bail bondsman.
Out at Manac Trailers. I worked there too. Everyone talked about you after you worked there. They're like, oh, you know Kyle? Because they know I was a fighter. You know Kyle?
Yeah. I did work at Manac Trailers, man. I love that place. But then they had a big layoff, and then once I was like, they were going to hire me back on to get back on there. And I was like, I already found me another job. All right, I got me another job. I'm sorry. And it happened to be where I live, closer to where I lived. But I worked that full-time job, 8 to 10 hour days. And then straight from there, I would go to St. Louis where I trained.
Jeez.
I'd go home, get cleaned up, drive a couple hours, train.
Drive 2 hours after working a full shift.
Yes.
And then 2 hours back,
Yep. Every night, I was very dedicated. So I was like there, and
Where were you training in St. Louis?
Okay. So it ended up being first, and at the beginning of my, in the end of my amateur career and beginning of my professional career was with Burger MMA, Steve Burger. Absolute beast. Shout out to you, Steve, man. You're awesome. I know I haven't talked to you in a while, but the guy was he made me better. My grappling better. And just a better gruely fighter. But once I took my first loss, so I went into my professional career, and my end of my amateur career, I was just killing it with them. We were training hard. I went 4-0 in my professional career. I mean, we're talking about in a short amount of time. I was just on it,
Nice.
training. And then what we were talking about earlier, Joaquin Buckley, the highlight reel UFC. I took him on. We were both 4-0 at the time. We were top prospects. We were both.
Oh, I didn't know you fought him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was my 5th professional MMA fight, and he beat me. And I was training, even when I was going up and training, that was a point in time that it got to where, which I get, some of these fighters, they go off from college or whatever, and it's like summertime era, basically, they go off. And I was still going up there, and I wasn't able to train with the guys. I wasn't getting.
Oh, so a lot of guys
I have like 12-year-old kids or something like
God.
that. And but no excuses prepping for this fight. But that kind of like made me upset. So I was like, you know what? I still stuck with my striking. Shannon Samuels, and I wasn't leaving necessarily. But MCS was like, hey, come get some striking, come get some work up here at MCS. So I went and trained up there at Modern Combat Systems in Hazelwood. You know how far that is?
Hazelwood is like
Almost 3 hours away.
oh my god. So you
Yeah.
started driving even further.
Yes. Yeah. So I was trying there, and then they, we didn't really have a falling out. We had had to tell them, hey, look, I wasn't even planning on staying there. I was just, taking a break. I just took my loss.
Dude, that's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, and I was going there every night.
It's 6 hours of driving every day after working.
And it made it hard, man, because my only leisure time.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
No, it was a full-time job to do that. And after training, I came back and got a win on Bellator.
You were driving yourself too?
Yeah.
I literally would not be able to. I literally would not be able to do that. I would wake up on the side of the road somewhere in a ditch. Like
there's times I didn't get home until midnight or so. Yeah. But go from training there, and I went back after that first loss. I want to say I fought Bellator after that one, or I fought. Man, it might have been Adam Sella. I can't keep track of them all.
right. Trust me, I already know.
Yeah, but within that short amount of time, I went 6-1. My first professional year within 10 months, and all high level guys.
Nice.
That I wasn't taking no bum shots or like, hey, you need to build your record. That's how some people do it. You're like, let's build your record, and then we're gonna make it look like you're doing phenomenal. But I never got no breaks. It wasn't nothing like that for me. I wanted the toughest guys.
Right.
I didn't care.
Which just looks good, just as good for your resume as fighting 6 bums and then 4 good guys. Like yeah.
I mean, I fought guys that were either my level or above.
Yeah.
And when I say above is because I felt like I was only continuing to get better, but there was guys that were already there.
Yeah.
Even when I fought my first Bellator fight, I had, which Adam Sella, shout out to Adam Sella, absolute, beast. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. I forgot what season it was, but I remember watching him on The Ultimate Fighter, and he came up to me and he's like, hey, we were in a room after the refs meeting, and he said, look, man, you're at Bellator. Congratulations on getting here. I said, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. But already at that point in time, I already knew I was going to be there. And if my mind would have stayed straight, I would have been would have stayed on course. I would have been in the UFC a long time ago. I would have used would have been in the right mind. But I had a lot of bumps along the way because I did not stay that course, and I was taking fights at short notice.
That's what can really screw you too. Yeah.
You can't do that, man. I don't care who you are. And even in amateur careers, you can't do that no more.
If you both are taking it on short notice, that's one thing. Yeah. But if they've been training a solid camp and then you just step in there, it's like, it's a lot harder to win that way, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's so hard to balance that. And that's, like, working a full-time job and then training full-time is hard enough to balance that. But then to have to drive several hours to train there and back, like, dude, that is just so exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
So exhausting.
During that time, I got my wife. She's taking care of our kids. She's doing everything. That's another job in itself. So she's dealing with me.
Dude,
doing
that's a
all
full-time
these
job, yeah.
And then she is the one taking care of our kids. And man, she was an absolute trooper. If you don't have that support, with your spouse, your girlfriend, whatever, you're not.
Like if you were a single parent.
Oh my gosh, it is so hard because people don't realize. Like you said, how do you maintain that? How do you balance that? It's super hard. It's not easy.
Right.
But you have to be mentally strong. And that's what got me there.
You have to sacrifice so much time with your children.
You do. When it comes to that, but I still made it. It was from the very beginning of my training. I started back just training like jiu-jitsu and everything back in 2000, the end of 2010 is when I really started to getting ready for MMA. And Lawrence Fleming was my first instructor. Actually, I was going to a police academy and training.
Yeah,
with him
shout out
for
to Lawrence, man.
Yeah. What's up, Lawrence? Man, he got me where I was. And then, like, the only reason why he didn't stay my instructor is because, you know, stuff that was happening more in his life.
Yeah.
It kept him, you know, because I believe in being loyal to your instructors and, you know, but having to go different ways because of different parts, different things that happen in your life, you know, I've had a lot of that happen.
Yeah. It sucks too.
Yeah. So, but like I said, in my career, I would have been in the UFC, man, because I had the support. But it's a lot of work. You're working two jobs, and basically, there was even a point in time I was working at an Italian restaurant and welding. My wife,
welding is tough work too.
Yes, it is. You're on your feet 24/7, so
sweating all day.
Yeah. And my wife, she was working at JCPenney's, and she was working at a doctor's office. So, and we was like, you know, doing everything to make ends meet. You know, it was not easy. You know, we were doing everything to scrape, you know, to get by, even in my amateur career. So when you get into the pro level, it's not like you're making bank right away.
Heck, you know.
No. And if you are making decent money at the professional level, you're spending more than you're getting.
Oh, yeah.
From that. Like right now, even preparing for my fight, I'll spend way more money than what I'm going to end up getting.
Way more.
Yeah, because time is money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm spending that time. I'm spending that money. And training, you know, your coaches.
Recovery.
Yeah, your gear.
Like, how you going to train full time and not go get massages? Like,
Wait, you get massages?
I have to, dude. If I don't, I'm going to be walking around like,
oh, man.
But I got my eyes bad too, you know, so I do those every night, you know. I definitely have to get massages, you know. Dude, yeah, I have to. I get so tight, like my back. I get these knots in my back. I'm just like, oh, my God.
I'm right there right
crippled,
now.
Man.
I'm right there right now. Overtrain. Don't overtrain.
Right.
Sucks. But, yeah.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice a lot of the training hard with just drilling techniques, you know. So I recognize when it's time to like I don't need to go run 3 miles. I can just go drill for a couple hours. I don't need to go hit the pool, hit the this, hit the that. As long as I can, you know, drill certain techniques. Like if you drill triangles and arm bars for an hour, that's plenty of exercise for you. You don't have to go run after that, you know. So it's balancing that to the hard workouts with just the drilling techniques, which drilling the techniques is way more important than running, you know, lifting weights, et cetera, you know. But yeah, dude, it's so hard. So what do you feel like it would take for you to get to a point to where you're making enough money fighting to where you don't have to work outside of that? Or is that not really a goal for you or something that you really care to do?
So what I would tell all the guys that are younger and, you know, up and comers, if you don't have your eyes set on a career, you know, and you're going to college and doing all kinds of studying and preparing for a career in college, become an entrepreneur. You know, something that you're absolutely passionate about, something that you can make money doing, that you do well at. You know, that's why I feel like kind of what got me into where I'm at today is being an entrepreneur, being passionate about something. It was driven more from something that I was good at, MMA. That's what got me my name for my business, you know. When time hurts, call Kurtz. You know, my nickname's the Hurtz, so I just like, you know, I'm going to intertwine that. You know, jail sucks. Being in jail. Time hurts. Time hurts, call Kurtz. So, but intertwine that, brand yourself. I've said that before.
Yeah.
You know, you got to brand yourself.
Hey, brand yourself, baby.
Yeah, that's what's up. I like that too.
Brand yourself, baby.
Yeah, if you don't brand yourself, who's gonna know who you are? You know.
You have to brand yourself and market yourself. Yep. You know, you can't just leave it to the promoters to market yourself. 100%.
That's anything. That's anything you do. I don't care if you're selling T-shirts or whatever it is. If you don't advertise who you are, people won't know who you are.
Right.
And you can advertise who you are, and then it becomes word of mouth with your skill as a fighter, but you can still, promote yourself.
With the internet, dude, it's so easy to advertise yourself. You got all these free platforms. Social media is the number one platform to market yourself. Like,
absolutely.
It's organic marketing. You don't have to pay anything. And then if you do spend a few extra bucks, like paid advertisement, stuff like that, boosting your stuff it really helps out a lot,
Yep.
So that's something that I'm learning. That's why, I'm starting this T-shirt business. I'm like, okay, I can't rely on fighting to pay me. I'm not even pro yet, so I ain't getting paid jack squat yet.
Yeah.
But even as I go, by the time I'm pro, I want to be, have a good enough following to where if I make a Rainmaker T-shirt, people buy it. Even aside from me, like, Powerful Fitness doesn't even have to be about me. It's about fitness. It's about that fitness lifestyle, and not just physically, but mentally and spiritually staying fit as well. Just that healthy lifestyle, which is why, I'm starting this clothing brand, because I realized, like, at first I just wanted to train people. I love helping people get into shape, learning martial arts, but I'm like, okay, there's a cap on how many people I can train, how much time I have. So let me transition into selling, products for, like, everyone's got to wear clothes. So why not start my own brand? And a lot of people think this, that certain things are saturated, but it's not. There's so many people on earth. You might think it'd be hard to sell T-shirts because there's already so many brands, but trust and believe it's not. No. Your friends and family members alone could buy enough T-shirts from you to support you with your bills. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm just like, okay, I have to figure out other ways, which is why I started this podcast. It's not just to sit here and talk, it's to eventually make money to sit here and talk,
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting and having conversations, record it, put it out there. And, like, podcasts are blowing up now.
Hook me up with one of those T-shirts, man. I'm ready.
Yep, I got you for sure. The ones I got coming are, like, these right here was just ones I made for my clients, but so this was just, these were just for, like, my clients, but the ones that I'm making for my clothing line, they're tight, dude. I'll show you the thing here shortly. I put it on my Facebook too, but it's gonna be coming out soon. I got the sketch, or I got like the tech pack almost completed, which the tech pack is just like a blueprint of the shirt, showing everything about it, the stitching and stuff. Once I get that sent to a manufacturer, they'll send me the sample, and then I'll place my order. But they're gonna be nice, man. And I'm really into this because I love fashion. I love buying nice outfits and dressing nice, and people are always asking me, dude, where did you get that from? And so I'm like, okay, I can just start making my own stuff, and instead of just spending my money on all these other brands, I can make my own brand. So now, like, even when I'm walking through the stores and I see nice clothes, I don't want to buy it. Why would I do that when I could just, like, put that money into my own brand? So that's why, like, even when I think, oh, I want to go buy somewhere, I see all these ads online, I'm no longer buying clothes that, aren't my brand. I want to create my own brand. I already got enough of other people's clothes, so now it's just all about putting that money into my brand, which the Rainmaker T-shirt I made, the first order, I'm going to be spending like $1,000. If I get 60 of them, it's going to be like $1,200. If I get 100 of them, it's going to be like $2,200 or something like that. And that's just the first order. And being an entrepreneur really is tough. Like, working is easy. You show up, do your job. You're getting paid every minute you work. But as an entrepreneur, you're not getting paid for all them hours you're putting in until, someone places that order on your product, or, like, for your business, you're not getting paid until someone, calls you to get them bailed out. And then once you bail them out, then you get paid. All the hours leading up to that, you're not getting paid, So being an entrepreneur, it takes more time, but
being an entrepreneur, you are commission based.
Yeah.
Because you're like waiting on that paycheck, basically.
Yeah.
But all that work you're putting in, you got to make it worth it. That's why you got to be driven. That's why you got to be hungry. You got to be hungrier than all these other guys. Like, if you're doing a T-shirt, you need to be pushing it out there. Whatever work that you're putting into that, make it. But you have to be passionate about it. You have to love it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not loving what you're doing, then why are you doing it?
And then it's like, so with the T-shirts, you could, dude, just making the T-shirt. Now, if you just get a logo and screen printed on some T-shirts, that's simple. But if you're coming up with a unique design and you're not doing just regular screen printed, like I'm doing DTG, that's direct to garment. They don't do that anywhere around Cape. They don't do that here. So I have to have a California or a Pakistan or a China company manufacturer make my stuff. I can't even have that done here locally. So I'm having to work with companies that's, far away from here. I had to get my license to sell through the state and then the federal one. And dude, it's a lot of stuff. It's not simple. And even I knew it was going to be a lot. And then as you start to do all that, you realize, oh, it's even more stuff I have to do. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of back and forth in between me and the designer. Because I design my T-shirt, but then I have to have it made digitally. I don't know how to do that stuff on a computer. I draw it up, and then I take pictures, and then I send it to them, and they make it a digital mock-up or whatever. Yeah. So it's a lot. It really is. And dude, you'll be thousands of dollars in before you even got your products yet. Just my sample T-shirt is $120, which the actual T-shirts are going to be $20, but the sample, they have to make the thing to print on there and stuff, so it costs more. I'm already hundreds of dollars in. I haven't got no T-shirt yet, so.
You're speaking to the choir, bro.
Yeah, all about it.
Yeah, you got to spend the money to make money.
For real.
Man. And you don't know if, with certain things that you do as an option.
And I don't even know if it was going to buy these shirts.
Yeah. Hey,
you don't even know if anyone was going to buy them.
Hey, yeah, you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
If you don't take that leap. And one of my best buddies, he had told me this, that he was told this. You're a turtle. You don't know, the world if you don't stick your head outside that shell.
Yeah.
You don't know what's out there. And there's so many things that are out there that you can do. And it's not just about fighting, but actually it really is, because fighting is life. And if you're not fighting to become something or do something with your life, then what's the point of even going out there and doing something if you don't give it everything you've got? You got to fight to be good at something, right? Anything, not just, not to get off and be philosophical about it, but I'm just saying, just like us being, if you're doing a kickboxing match, or I'm doing an MMA match, or doing a jiu-jitsu tournament or something, to get that feel for it, I'm not going out there to go get whooped. I'm going out there to give it everything I got so I can do the best I can.
Right.
And just like in life, and if you got a business or something, you're fighting towards something. You're not going to fight for the rest of your life, right?
Right.
You're going to have a cutoff point, and you're going to have something after that. You're not going to go in there and be like, you know what, I was wanting to do this, and I'm going to work at Walmart when I'm 40-something years old, and say, well, why are you working at Walmart? Well, I mean, I was a UFC fighter, and I was a champion. I didn't save my money, and I didn't do nothing with it.
Right.
And you got to have a cutoff point, and you got to have basically fight, invest.
You need to build a cushion to relax on when you're old and your knees are hurting.
Yep.
For real. Because the retirement is not what it used to be. Like a lot of our grandparents have their retirement or whatever, but nowadays the what do they call it? Social Security, whatever. It's not. It's crap now.
401k.
So yeah, stuff. Well, 401k you can put more into it, but I don't really know how that stuff works. But
I'll just send you the guy that does.
Okay.
I got a great investor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all about saving and investing. Right now, I'm more about investing, because when you save money, it's like, okay, this is something I did not realize until just recently, like a year ago. You think, all right, if you put $10,000 in the bank account, 5 years from now, do you still have that $10,000? You do, right? It's still there. But is it really $10,000? No, because the prices of everything goes up. So when money sits, it's actually as if it's shrinking, because the price of everything is going up. So if your money is not actually growing, if you're not making more money with that money, then in a way it's shrinking because the price of everything is going up. Like people don't really understand inflation when you're like a teenager, young adult. Then you get older and realize, oh, I saved this $1,000 thinking I could buy 100 cases of water, but 2 years later you can only buy 50, or just a goofy example, but yeah, your money is you see what I'm saying? Like things fluctuate, but we know the fluctuation is going up. It's not typically going down. Sometimes it does, but I realize that I have to invest my money, which is why I'm like, okay, I have everything I need. I got a house, I got a car, I got clothes, I got food. So if it's not a necessity, anything extra, it needs to be an investment. Any money I spend towards fighting, whether it be traveling, massage, training, that's all an investment on my career. So like with the clothes, I'm like, I have a closet full of clothes. I have a few pairs of shoes. What do I look like going and buying another pair of shoes? My feet are done growing. My kids, I have to keep buying them shoes because their feet are growing. My feet are done growing. So until these shoes are ran down, I'm not buying no more shoes unless they're my shoes. Like I just bought some flip-flops the other day, but it's because I put my logo on them to promote my business. So I'm like, dude, I have to stop buying clothes. I got all the clothes I need. I'm done buying clothes unless it's, my own clothes. So just really shifting to that investing mindset is, it was crucial. I realized like last year, dude, I wasted a lot of money. Like the thousands of dollars I spent on clothes, what if I would have spent that on my brand? I would have all these clothes, but it'd be my clothes. So yeah, I've really been focusing on investing my money instead of just spending it,
That's good, man.
And not lying to myself and pretending it's an investment when really it's just something I want to buy,
Because I know how that is.
Yeah, we can definitely do that a lot.
There's so much to invest into and so much to lose money into.
And another thing I have to remind myself of every day, because the more ambitious you are, the more you can find yourself feeling as if you don't have enough. Like, I'm not at the finish line yet. I'm not where I want to be. Well, when you get there, you're actually going to want more still. So you have to remind yourself, if your bills are paid and your food is on the table and you're healthy, what do you have to complain about? Nothing. Like nothing. So when I find myself stressed out, like I want a nicer car. Like, dude, this 2021 Corvette, I want it so bad, but I'm not going to stress over that. The things that I want that I don't have, I don't stress over because I got everything I need.
I'm right there with
like
you.
so many
That's
people
exactly
don't even have food today. So what do I look like feeling upset over the extra stuff? Like extra should just be, it's just more cool. But like if you got everything you need.
I'm right there. Me and my wife, we're kind of the same way. We don't like care about the fancy stuff, the brand new this or that. We like to have nice stuff that's not going to, fall apart on us.
Right.
But we more like invest in that stuff when it comes to kids. Like I'll say invest too, because my kids, them growing up, them having their shoes constantly growing, their clothes are always getting bigger, but the thing is what we want to do with our money. If we're not investing into something to grow, the main thing is we want to travel. We don't care about the big fancy home.
Yeah.
Like that. We're just not like that. Or have the newest vehicle or anything like that. We want to travel the world, and that's kind of what we want to do with our kids, and us. That is our main goal.
And then even if you don't have, a roof over your head maybe, or food to eat for the day, do you have your health? Because that's like number one. If you're healthy, like you should be happy.
Yeah.
If you're healthy, you should be happy, because there's people sitting in the hospital right now dying, And then if you got kids, it's not even about your health now. Are your kids healthy? Because you could be sick, but your kids feel good, and you should still mentally be okay, and be happy. Because, dude, you think you think something's stressing you out, it must have been a while since your kids were sick. Because when your kids get sick, dude, that's like the worst. Like, you think you upset, you think you sad, dude. If your kids are like hurt or they're sick, that's like the worst. So, like, I constantly remind myself these things, like, dude, if you feel like complaining right now, if you're pouting over something, it's okay to feel these things, but don't let it consume you and make you feel like your life is like you're miserable. Because I find myself, it's easy to just start drowning in your own sorrow over the dumbest things. But dude, if you have your health, that's number one. Because if you have everything that you want as far as material things go and you're not healthy, none of that stuff matters. Like, health is number one. Like, number one. I try to stress that to my kids every day. I tell them, like, you're young now. Your body can put up with Will, about anything.
I didn't realize you think so much like me, man. We got a similar mindset.
Come on, man. Yeah,
stuff, dude.
Of course.
Because I tell people, I was like, I had a client who told me, she's like, and to put an example out there, she said, how did she word it? I'm terminally ill, and I'm like, she's like, I'm gonna die. I said, listen, I said, don't tell me that. I said, we're all gonna die. Eventually. We don't know when. I said, you're terminally ill. I said, every day you're living and breathing, you're winning. So don't give up. Anything can change.
Right.
Anything. So I don't give into that. The whole terminally ill thing. I hate to hear that. I really do. But when she said that, I'm like, don't. Live every day as it is your last. So,
right.
Even though she may not be the healthiest person, but, as a client of mine, and I'm telling her this, every day you're living and breathing, you're winning. So you can live your best life that day, the next day. You don't know if you're going to have it. So I don't know, just a little something. I guess we are getting a little philosophical, but life is about fighting.
Yeah, this is the Powerful Fitness Podcast. Like this, these are the things I talk about with people. I talk about life. I don't just sit and talk about football games and stuff like that. I like to talk about life. And I mean, what else is there to talk about? Like, I'm not like a small talk type of person. This is why I started this podcast. And this is why I bring people on like yourself. Like, yeah, we are very similar. We're both fighters. We both are family men. Like, you remind me a lot of Michael Chandler. Like, dude, like listening to him, I'm like, why is this guy so, like, why are you such a good guy? How are you so good, dude? Like, you're like the, like, coolest guy there is. Like,
appreciate
like, for real. Like, Michael Chandler was talking about his family life. And, dude, he's just like, that's like, dad of the year right there, like man of the year. Like, he's just a solid guy.
I really like Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
We had the opportunity to fight on the same card a couple times, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, when I hear him talk, I'm like, I don't care if he wins or loses his fights. I like this guy no matter. I could care less. Like, I like this guy. He's just a really good guy.
He is.
Simple as that. Him and his wife, adopting, 2 boys, and I'm just like, dude, those 2 boys are like they don't have their biological parents, but this, like, they have something even better. Like, it's just, man, to see a good parent is like, I didn't have my father growing up. So when I see good fathers, like, I respect that more than anything else on earth. Like, yeah, I love my children, and I would do anything for them. Like my kids is everything I do is for them. And a lot of times when, like I said, having kids, it's like you stop caring so much about yourself and care more about your kids. Like, everything I do is for my children. And a lot of times when I feel upset about my life, I think to myself, bro, your life's already over anyways. You got kids now. Like, it sounds weird coming out like that, but I'm like, who? I tell myself, like, their life matters more than yours now. So, like, don't trip so much over yours.
That's the reason why you live. That should be the reason why you live. This is why you plant that seed, and you got those kids there, and how we lived our life, not having our father or mother or in that time that we lived as a younger, as a kid or even as a teenager, we grew up very similar. You know, I lived with my grandparents off and on too, and people could say they did things for me or whatever growing up when I was a kid. But I'm telling you, the ones who are really there for me are the ones that would be there for me today as well, without a thought of, you know, with me being successful or anything like that. It was when I had nothing, and it was all, you know, dirt poor from being a kid to being a young adult. You know, those are the ones that need to be there for you, and we show our kids different by how we live. You know, we don't want them to be at that point where we lived. We want them to have their parents in their life,
Right.
you know, and give them everything that we can, everything that they need, you know. And of course, we want to give them their wants, but it's the necessities that are more important.
You know, so my mother raised me. My father wasn't there. I had a stepdad, and you know, he's just a great guy, and you know, he helped my mother take care of me, and he's done so much for me. But even with having, I know I didn't have my real father, you know, or my biological father, and that was something that always got to me, you know, as a child, a teenager, and a young man, and even still to this day, you know, I feel like everybody wants and needs their father, you know. And once you're a man, you don't need your father, but helps to have one, you know.
Yeah.
But once I became a young man, I was actually mad at my mother for a lot of things that she didn't teach me, you know. And it's because I didn't realize how hard it actually is to be a parent, for one. Like, it's super hard being a single parent, especially a mother raising 3 boys. And my grandfather, Willie Sr., said to me one time, he said, "Grandson, she can't teach you what she doesn't know." And then I started to think, dang, maybe the things I wanted her to teach me, she hadn't really figured out in life yet. But then a lot of the things that she was trying to teach me, I just wasn't listening, you know. But like me, I'm a single parent, and it's not easy, especially when my daughter, you know, her mother passed away like 2 years ago. So it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
She wants the love from her mother, and like I'm not a lovey-dovey parent, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm the father, you know. I don't know. You're probably much more lovey-dovey with your kids than I am. I'm just, you know.
I am, but I'm probably the most strict.
Yeah.
Definitely
And so it's like my daughter's really craving this love and affection that it's really hard for me to give to her, you know. With my son, he don't really crave that from me because he gets it from his mother, you know. But my daughter, it's like she's got her grandmother now, so she gets that from her. But you know, she's a girl, you know. I'm into the guy things, and so it's hard, you know. And I'm trying to be conscious of that and do more girly stuff with her, but I definitely don't do enough, you know. But I don't beat myself up about it because I know I'm a great father, and you know, I'll do anything for her. I'll take care of her. So, and above all, I teach her. You know, I teach my kids. I feel like that's more important than anything, is truly teaching them. It's not about what I provide, the clothes I buy them, you know, and stuff like that. It's what do you teach them? What do you really help them understand about life and the true meaning of life? You know, so I talk to my kids if they're adults, and I know, especially with my daughter, she's only 7, so half the things I talk to her about, I know she don't understand nothing I'm saying, but she remembers them. So, you know, my son, he's very smart. He's only 11, and he's
little Will.
Yeah, little Will. He's probably, his mental capacity is probably where mine was at when I was like 15. You know, because I've done just so much talking to him about life and wanting him to truly understand. It's crazy, like my father, he's, you know, he don't even try to talk to me anymore because, you know, he basically just ain't a good father, you know. And he tried when he got out of prison, but some people just they're not equipped to be a father.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, some people aren't cut out to be parents.
For real.
have their kids, but they don't know what it's like, because I think some of the parents, they are, or the adults, they're not prepared to be adults because they weren't kids when they were growing up. They weren't allowed to be kids, so they decided to be kids when they become an adult, and then they don't want to be a parent.
Right. See, and I wasn't like that. I mean, I was in a sense, of course, but I knew once I had my son, I was only 16. I'm like, it's time to man up. It's time to, I started working while going to school, and, I did my best. But like, even with my father, am I mad at him? No, because I understand life's tough. I understand life is tough. So when I see people doing bad, I'm not mad at them. I just hope and pray that they can work on themselves and just be their best self,
Yeah, absolutely.
But once a person betrays me, I don't keep on, letting them back into my life. That's for sure. One thing I tell my kids is, you can trust me. Maybe not other people, but you can always trust me and know I always have the best interest for you. And if you have problems, you come to me and talk to me about them. Don't ever worry about getting in trouble, because, of course, there's going to always be punishment in life. But as much as I punish you, I'm going to teach you and help you not make the mistakes again. And I'm pretty proud of myself of what I've done with my son, because, it's a lot different than I was, for real. My son is very intelligent, and he definitely is very loving and caring. Like, he truly cares. Like, when he makes mistakes, I can tell he cares. And a lot of kids just don't want to get in trouble because of punishment. But my kids, I teach them to not want to get in trouble because of the effect the effect it has on the people and the place, around them. Taking care of, the people around you and your environment. Teaching your kids not to litter is such a big thing that people don't even really think about. A lot of people, I just see people just like treat the earth like it's just their freaking dumpster. But, I don't teach my kids that. Teach my kids to heal and help the environment and the people around them. Are we going to be perfect? Nope. But, strive to be better. And I definitely recognize how good, like when I see you on Facebook, I'm like, wow, man, this guy, I hope he knows how lucky he is, man. Like, your family is like, it's everything, like, you have your kids and you're with your kid's mother. That's a beautiful thing. I don't have that luxury. My son and I's mother, we split apart when we was teenagers, which, of course, it's hard to stay together when you have kids at an early age, it's tough as it is. And then when my daughter, her mother passed away, and it's just like, I don't get that luxury, and it makes me hesitant to even have more children. It's tough. So when I see a family together, I just always hope and pray that, like, they're gonna love each other, like, with, to the dying breath. Like, I can't stand to see a family split up. I love seeing families together, because that's what I always wanted. But, I didn't get that, which is kind of, it's crazy how things play out. And so that's, like, with my kids, I want to make sure that they're very, wise in their decision making, and they don't have kids early, and they make sure they get married and have children and stay with that person. I feel like it's very important, and as a society, I feel like you got all these things out here, like, dude, this is crazy how a lot of people, they don't care nothing about that anymore. They really don't. People just have kids, split up. It's nothing. Baby mama, baby daddy,
It's become too normal.
Too normal. If you go back 50 years ago, that's like hold on. You get someone pregnant. As a man, you get someone pregnant. What do? Get married before anyone we got to get married now. So, like, we don't even want people to know we had a child out of wedlock.
I hear that from older friends.
Yeah.
Like, I've got friends that are in their, even later 50s or stuff. And on older, they talk about that. Like, I got divorced or something. And the reason why they got divorced is because they got married at a young age, because they got that person pregnant,
right?
And then it just didn't work out,
right?
And they basically that they were forced to. My dad said that you're supposed to marry,
right?
If you get get someone pregnant. So yeah, that's one thing, that's back then, but now they treat it like it's just completely normal. You're gonna have a kid but we don't need to get married, or if we do, we split up, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not about that. But I mean, if the person's not right, obviously,
Right.
That's one thing. But yeah, man, I love my wife. She's awesome. Just like any other family, man. Any other family, you got your ups and downs.
Oh yeah.
And nothing's ever perfect. People say like, we love the way your Facebook is or your family and stuff. Like, the thing is I put happy stuff on Facebook.
As you should.
In my life and stuff. But just like everyone else, everyone has problems and stuff, but never post negativity, because then people feed into it.
Right. You shouldn't.
It's like, oh my gosh, nobody either wants to hear it, or you got the people that love that kind of stuff. I'm not like that. I post about the life and the love I have for my family and the things that I have going on for me, not negativity, because negativity is something that should go away right away. It's not something that should fester, and it's going to fester.
And then some people have the audacity to say, they'll be like, "Oh, that's fake." No one they don't post the bad stuff. It's like, that's because that's
why?
What's the point? Why would we do that? Like
Yeah.
For you to see someone's social media and it's all gravy and think like, "Oh, that," like, I know he's got some stuff. Well, yeah.
I'm human just like you are.
It's like, when I post my highlight reel, you think I'm going to post him like hitting me upside the head? No, I'm not going to take that stuff out. You're going to see me hitting him, you know? That don't mean I didn't get hit. I'm just showing you the good parts of it, know? That's how it should be, But the negative sides of life don't okay, it's like this. You have a car. It's like you have a Maserati. It's got one little scratch on it. People will walk past and be like, oh, look at that little scratch. It's like, dude, look at what I'm saying, how beautiful the car is. Yeah. One little scratch is nothing, baby. That's part of life. like, you're going to have a couple little scratches here and there. Like, I know I'm handsome, but I got a little scratch on my eye from one of my fights, It's like, life is full of flaws, but you have to look at the beautiful side of it, Yeah,
that's a good way to put it right there. I mean, really, I've seen people with the negativity and the negative side, and then they're the polar opposite. It's all negative, and that's when you kind of need to cut those people out of your life.
Oh yeah,
you need to cut them out of your life, because negativity doesn't help you in life. I mean, unless that that becomes a fuel for you, and you put it in a little box and say, hey, look, I've got this negativity right here, and I'm going to use it as fuel for myself, but I'm not going to use this to keep me from,
It's like coal. It's like, use it as coal, put it in the fire to, warm your house.
Yeah.
Don't use it as,
something to burn it down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to use it the right way. You got to feed off the energy the right way.
Yep.
It's like a fire. It can warm your house, or it can burn that motherfucker down.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. That's really how you have to look at energy in life, for real. And that's why, my first T-shirt I'm making has got the yin yang on the back, to symbolize balance. Everything in life is about balance.
Yep. Very true, brother. Very true.
But so what's up? You got anything you want to tell the people, man?
Man, a lot about like what we've been talking about, and just keep on pushing forward, and fight everything you do, invest, and like I've said it before about the investing. Invest in yourself. You might lose a little money putting something into whatever. Don't put too much stock into something if you're not going to get something out. You got to put that work into it. Just like in life, I was saying, with our family and everything else, you got to invest in yourself so you can invest into them. But fighting in life and everything else, I've got a big fight coming up. I look at it as the biggest fight of my life, because it's my next fight, and I'm gonna be defending my middleweight title. I haven't fought at middleweight in probably. It's been 2 years now, I think. But I feel healthier 185, and I'm coming to do my best work. and I feel very healthy, strong. Getting out through a little kinks here and there, but I hope you guys will be able to tune in. It's also going to be on Fight TV.
Fight TV.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Fight TV. June 18th, Cage of Honor, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Guys, this is going to be an awesome fight. I already know about this Jake Buehler guy. He's a tough dude. I got to train with him a few times. He was a former teammate, but it was nothing like grueling matches or nothing like that in the gym, because I wasn't able to see very much of him. So he never really was like a big part of my life. But no matter what, you're going to run into teammates if you're going to different gyms.
Oh,
training, cross training or whatever. But this right here is going to be a tough fight, because I know the guy's tough, but it's not going to work out for him, because I'm coming in there to do my worst deeds and my best work. I'm going to put on a clinic, and that's why I've been training my tail off. Some days I'm training 3 times a day, and you can't say,
those are the hard days.
Yes, they are. Well, you look at it, some people who do train full time, and technically I look at it like I'm training full time, because as an entrepreneur, I'm working my other jobs, my other gigs in my career, but I'm able to train. I put myself there in that spot there where I can train full time. So I'm doing my strength and conditioning. I'm working my jiu-jitsu. I'm working my wrestling, my boxing, and my days of different aspects of my grappling, different aspects of my striking, and different aspects of my strength and conditioning to flow and everything else. And you got to do that. You got to train really hard, and you got to train really smart, and make sure you're dieting and everything else. The dieting part actually is one of the hardest things, and I'm not very good at dieting.
What's your diet like?
Huh?
What's your diet like?
Seafood.
Seafood?
Everything I eat.
Oh, my God. No. I started thinking about fish. I'm like, okay, seafood.
I love sushi, man.
I see it. I eat it.
Yeah. But, I'm
Israel Adesanya, he said that's what diet he's on.
What?
Yeah, seafood diet. He said, so he said like 2 weeks before the fight, he'll start to just cut back on his portions, but he eats whatever he wants.
Yeah. For the most part, really, I do. So I just, especially if you're training nonstop, I feel like you need that, because you get to a certain point, which I can look super shredded if I want to. If I want to be shredded, I'll eat green, everything else, whatever. But I feel healthy. I eat what I want to, because it makes me happy, and if it's not gonna slow me down, and I'm just constantly I'm grueling in my matches and my rounds and stuff in the gym. If it's not stopping me, obviously I'm not going to just go over abundance of nasty food.
French fries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so all the greasy foods, I kind of like stay away from that more, because that will slow you down. That'll settle in your gut. But for the most part, I eat decent, but I do eat whatever I want. Yeah.
Nice.
So if a giant muffin's in front of me, I'm going to smash
Just,
that.
I'm going to smash that. Blueberry.
Yep.
Yeah.
If we're going to close it up, man, I do want to give a shout out to a few people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, actually, who all you want to give a shout out to, who's really been helping you get ready for this fight and stuff like that.
Most definitely, I've got a few, especially people who are supporting me and kind of giving me like a sponsorship. I want to give a shout out to Freedom Fitness and Nutrition, and also Freedom Fit and Gracie Hamida in SEMO. It's in Jackson, Missouri. And then, of course, my coaches there, Brian Amos and Cody Kellison, Curtis Ackman, those guys, not only with Danny Reese and Christian Boxing Academy and Peak Performance, but all these guys at D-Ray IV.
Let's talk a little bit about that first sponsor. You said, what's the name of it?
Freedom Fitness and Nutrition.
So what do they do?
So they do like meal prepping, basically. They prepare all the meals and everything else, so like healthy, and I guess they so much types of meals throughout a week. And then on top of that, they also have supplements.
Okay.
Stuff. So
where are they based out of?
Jackson, Missouri.
Okay, so if you're eating them meal preps, then your diet's on point. If you're eating that,
right. And I mean, I love the meals really, but I'm eating these meal prep meals, and then if I want to grab a little something on the side, I'm going to. I'm not going to keep myself from eating that, especially I need like 4,500 calories a day.
Right.
As much as I'm sweating out, but yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to them and the places I'm training is Freedom Fitness. So it's in Jackson. I get in my workouts there, my strength and conditioning with alongside with my wife, the Hurtz duo.
Oh yeah, I seen y'all training together.
Yeah, we're having fun.
That's nice. It's always nice when you can work out with your partner. Like,
yeah, I gotta also give a shout out when it comes to her because my wife, she. Man, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at today because she pushes me to be the best I can be. And when it comes to training, it's not easy. It's not. Also, on top of that, she's like, if there's days that she's like, I want you to just hang out with me tonight, and I got trained. She's like, I know, you got to win. So
that's nice.
And it's not all about winning, but I'm
just
saying, like,
look. A lot of men, or not just men, but a lot of fighters, they have a spouse that will get upset with how much they train, and it does cause like a hindrance in their relationship. Yeah. Like, which of course we have to be understandable to that and spend our time with them. But we train. We're about to get into a fist fight now. We got to train.
Right.
We got to train. Like, for real.
And I think it even come to a point where like. As far as food and stuff goes, I can pick up food, and she knows that I almost need that.
Yeah.
I almost need this extra to fuel me, because if I don't, I'm gonna be 185 before I know it.
Right.
Because I'm not eating that extra fat and those carbs and stuff. I need so much right now.
You eat avocados?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love avocados.
That's my favorite fruit.
Yeah.
Every day.
You need the good fats too, like the avocados and some salmon. Oh man.
I never liked salmon.
No, salmon's got good fat though. Yeah, it really does.
I can't. I don't eat fish anymore. But I don't eat meat at all. But even when I did, I never liked fish.
Also, guys, time hurts. Call Kurtz. It's my bell bonds. And also,
if I ever get in trouble, hey, knock on wood, I'm not gonna get in trouble. If I do, I know who to call for real.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. And then my bounty hunting portion. If you guys, I also do that nationwide. Anybody ever needs a bounty hunt, I'm pretty good at my job, I'd say.
Nationwide, you be hunting people down?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
We didn't even get into that.
All them states, bro. All them states. Crazy. The bell bonds.
That's scary, man. Because it's dangerous,
It is, and it can be.
Because they're not going to treat you like a police officer either. They think, oh, this guy ain't no cop. They're going to try to, treat you the worst. Like,
yep. Yeah,
and then you film it too.
Mm-hmm.
You got a YouTube channel?
No, that's what I need to get to.
You should start that, man. For real.
I need to do that.
For real. Like,
I just did my little TikTok, the Billy the Bounty Hunter, play around with that a little bit.
There's this one guy, he posts on Facebook and stuff, but I love watching this stuff. It's just so funny the way these people act.
Mayo?
What's his name?
Patty Mayo.
He's a white guy. I think
scrawny guy.
Yeah, scrawny. Yeah. He's always geared up, and he's got a couple people with him.
Man, I wish he was real. Not real.
He's not real?
No. Sorry, Patty Mayo.
How's he not? What do you mean? It's fake?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, bro.
It's not real.
I'm crushing your dreams like somebody else did. Yeah, bro.
It looks real though.
Yeah, I'm a real bounty hunter.
I like the one where that guy was trying to act like he was gonna fight him. He's like, "Come on, step closer." He's like, like that was like the funniest one.
Was it the karate guy?
Yeah, I think he acted like he's like, "Come on, step closer."
Yeah, I wish that was real. Because I was watching it when I first started getting into being a bail bondsman and a bounty hunter. I was watching. I was like, "This is so cool," And then somebody crushed my dreams, I think, last year, and told me.
No way.
I was like, "No, it's not."
Oh, the
it's
one
so
where the
real.
guy's like, it's got the mace guy, and he's like making all them funny sounds. He's like, he's like, my safety word is pineapples.
Oh, is it the one that's like takes off running, and he's like,
yeah. He's like, you can't
tase me.
Yeah. He was, dude. He was saying some funny stuff. Yeah. Some funny stuff. He's like, that's the guy though. Oh, dang it. But yeah, you should make your own, man. It'd be.
I know, man.
Dude, come on, man. You know people gonna watch that. That's gonna get some views for real.
I need to get on it. Maybe I need to team up with you. Maybe you got some good ideas for me.
Hey, we can make some fake ones, man.
Hey,
for real.
Make some real fun.
Whatever for views.
Yep.
Do it for the gram, all that stuff.
Throw the real ones in there too. I got some GoPro footage, man. I'm gonna put out one day.
Yeah, I got a bunch of cameras, but I've been meaning to get a GoPro. Those are good for when you're doing stuff, strap it to your chest and
There's been
stuff.
so many hunts that I didn't have him on. I'm like, why didn't I? That was
Right.
so cool.
Like the best one, yeah.
Jumping over guardrails and
For
crazy
real.
stuff. And
Yeah, I'd love to help. Come along and just film it, you know.
absolutely. You're more than welcome
For
to.
real.
Man. Yeah.
Like,
hey, so I need a runner.
For real.
somebody missed quarter already. I'm after them.
But then you don't get paid, do you?
Huh? No.
I
don't lose my money when they miss court. I lose money if I don't get them in the amount of time the judge gives me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But hey, if we get them views, you know,
that's right.
Start selling merch. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But I'm dead serious, dude. I'd love to come along and film that. Just let me put clips on my channel too.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Yeah, Hurtz and Hunts. That's my bounty hunting name. So that's for my basically bounty hunting. My like LLC, I guess you can say, is Hurtz and Hunts, and that's specifically bounty hunting. And then my Time Hurtz Bell Bonds. That's a Bell Bonds. Specific. So
nice.
Yeah. If you're in jail, need a bail, Time Hurtz, call Kurtz.
For real. But all right, bro.
Hey, man.
This was a good one, for real.
Brother.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching another episode of the Powerful Fitness Podcast, episode number 3 with Kyle the Hurtz. Kurtz, we out of here. Deuces. Nice.
Awesome, bro.
Woo!
That was cool.
211.